now, and hopefully there's some audio for everybody to listen to because we had a lot of really good points. I will say
Mhm.
that everybody missed the rock paper scissors finals.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, it was a three-way tie. I'm a big fan of a three-way, but that's just me. Anywho,
I've got no idea where that came from, but sure, we move.
we move on. We regain. We come back stronger than what we did before.
We do. We do. We
Um,
rise from the ashes of our technical mishaps, and we. Oh, hang on. There's double KJ.
oh my goodness.
Uh, I am not KJ.
Let's see.
I I want it known.
Oh my goodness.
We are seeing double KJ.
There are so many things that are going really bad right now. But that's besides the point. Hopefully everything is working itself out. My stuff is acting goofy. But either way, we come back and we regain.
We
Yes?
do. We do. I mean, we've got audio back, and that's all the people really need. Okay, that's
Yeah,
all the
and if
people want and need.
and you know what? If people hear me double talk, guess what? You get to hear from me twice.
It's a hit from me. Exactly. So I'm
Oh,
sure the people will not feel too
it's two
bad
of
about that one.
me.
That's what I said.
Oh, I actually just pulled this. I actually just pulled the stream up. I mean, it looks great.
2 KJs per audio. I
Look
mean,
at
we take
that.
2 KJs per audio. How about we just get into this game, KJ?
Yeah,
We
absolutely. Let's go ahead and get this taken
Let's
care
do
of.
it. We have the Monkeys taking on the Rams in the Elite League. And let's just get into this one. We've got Chris and Laggy Puppy taking on J Dubs and Prosperity. We had all sorts of information about the starts of the season and the way that these two teams are set up, but we're not going to go through that anymore because our Astrander decided they would mess up. So the Rams are going to start out here with some pressure. Prosperity trying to fake it out over the top of Laggy Puppy. He's not going to be able to do so. Jados with a little bit of a double commit coming out from the Rams here, but it doesn't know the Monkeys are going to be able to capitalize, and the ball goes kind of back into midfield. Chris is going to try and do a little bit of trickery. He gets over the top of Prosperity, misses wide left of the post. That's an unlucky one from the Monkeys captain and GM. And it's worth mentioning, KJ, we actually have two GMs on the field, don't we?
We do. We have J Dubs, GM for the Rams, and we have Chris with a K, GM for the Monkeys. Yeah, so it's a battle of not but it's a battle of not just the GMs. It's a battle of Congress,
Yes.
and that is the more important thing because GMs don't matter.
You hear that, GM's in chat? KJ just announced that you do not matter. Prosperity
I can
going for an
say
area.
that because I am one.
Fair. I mean, that's fair enough. I'm not able to say anything like that because I'm just a measly caster, but we move. Prosperity now in the corner trying to get this one away from his goal. Laggy Puppy goes for the goal. Oh my goodness, misses just wide right of the top right-hand corner, and the Monkey's going to try and regain some possession here. Chris trying to play the game of chicken with Prosperity, which he eventually does win, and takes out J-Dubs as well with a nice bump, but that's not going to lead to too much for the Rams. Chris is looking for the top left-hand corner, but not able to find it. J-Dubs with the clear, and now the Rams might try and get something going as Laggy Puppy on defense tries to find his teammate. Actually, he's going to get up for that one himself. That is not going to be on target, though, and the Monkeys have good defense. Chris now trying to go the other way. That one looks goal-bound. Oh, my goodness, J-Dubs, what a fantastic save. And the Rams get to clear. KJ, interesting first 2 minutes of this game.
Ooh, it seems like a lot of back and forth, but at the same time, the Monkeys are still able to maintain that pressure. And since we kind of had, we had the fun at the beginning, now it's time to get a little bit serious because this is the Elite League. This is the top tier content, and this is about as top tier as it can get. We've got a Rule 1 as this ball is going to go down and it's going to roll right into the Monkeys' goal as Chris and J-Dubs finding themselves in a meeting, giving each other kisses. Hey, Rams up 1-0, 2:48 left to go.
2:48 left to go, and wow, yeah, that was certainly an interesting one for the spectators. But I mean, the thing we have to remember about this is that the Monkeys desperately need to win this game. I mean, they are 0-2 right now in the league. If they go down 0-3, then Chris's 5-5 on the season is looking more and more in jeopardy. But for the minute, they need to find a way back into this game, and they need to do that quickly. To me, it feels like the Monkeys have had quite a lot of the possession and quite a lot of the kind of pressure going forward. But the Rams have just been able to counterattack that one time with Chris and J-Dubs maybe playing a little bit funny, but you know we're still getting good quality Rocket League is kind of the point I'm trying to get across.
Yeah, definitely getting some good quality Rocket League. But the thing is that the Monkeys have been giving up ball possession a little bit too much. They've been letting the Rams kind of take it back down and get a good solid clear out. Not really able to do too much with it. Hopefully, we're able to see a little bit more out of the Monkeys. But if as long as Chris and Laggy are on the same page about everything, they should be able to pull this off.
Yeah, I mean, we could have a brief look at the salaries, right? I mean, Laggy Puppy sat there on 17.9 and that double save. Oh, he's paid for every single penny with that double save. Goodness, that's some goal line clearances you don't see every day. He's sitting there on 17.9. Sorry, Laggy's on the 17.3. That's my fault. Chris is on the 17.9. And over on the other side, you've got J-Dubs sitting at 1600 and Prosperity at 17.3. So at the minute, though, the Rams are making that salary deficit work for them, and they're 2 goals up with a minute and 14 to go. KJ, are you concerned at all if you're a Monkeys fan right now?
No. And the reason why I say that is because this is game 1 of a best of 5. Mm-hmm. Game 1, always your feeler game. Just because last season J-Dubs was in Star League does not mean that he has not improved from then to now. As Laggy Puppy, also a Star League player. What a shot by J-Dubs! What a 50-50 challenge from him.
Yeah, it's not just a shot. I want people to have a look at the bump play coming after this. Just on the left of your screen, you just miss it. He bangs Chris right against the wall because I think Chris has the save there if he has the clean run. So J-Dubs with the shot and the block onto Chris as well is what converts that goal for the Rams. They're now 3 up in game 1. I mean, you say you're not concerned if you're a Monkeys fan, and there is a lot of Rocket League still to be played. There's still another 2 games. 4 games. My goodness. But I mean, this showing from the Rams with the 4th going in against them, I'm starting to wonder if there's a morale issue on the Monkeys having not won a game yet this season.
I really don't think so. That first game, it doesn't matter who it is. That first game is always your feeler. You're trying to feel out your opponent, and that's what I really do think that's what the Monkeys are trying to do here. As Chris with a great dunk, able to get one on the board for the Monkeys, that's exactly what they needed to possibly carry some momentum. But then again, this is Elite League. There's 29 seconds left. It is still possible, but the Monkeys are definitely going to have to score very quickly.
Yes, they will. It is going to have to be kickoff goals, and that one's not exactly going to help matters as Chris tries to get this one under control. And I know you say that game 1 is a feeler game, and there is obviously an aspect of that, but you also need to consider the fact that these 4 players have been in this league pretty much since its inception. Certainly Chris and J-Dubs. Laggy Puppy's been around for quite a long time, and Prosperity as well. So how much of a feeler is it for these players when they're people that they've seen and played with on a relatively regular basis since season 1?
But the only 2 that have been consistently in the same league, what a touch there from Laggy. That's good momentum going into game 2. But the thing I wanted to point out here is that the only 2 that are on the field right now that have been consistently in the upper league is Chris and Prosperity on opposite sides of the team. Chris has been consistently in the Elite League, Prosperity the same way. So for J-Dubs and Laggy, they certainly have a lot to prove. And Laggy with that last goal really showed that, what he really can do on the field.
I mean, we know that Laggy can absolutely show up in these kinds of games. He's put on absolute clinics for us in past games. It's certainly in Star League, and now he's stepping up to Elite League. He's putting on very similar performances. This is a man who who loves the clips, he loves to play for himself, and he loves to be given freedom of the pitch to be able to kind of express himself and be able to take those more risky shots, with Chris kind of taking a bit more of a back seat. Is that the kind of thing that we expect to see from the Monkeys, or do you expect it to be a bit more 50-50, a bit more kind of give and take between Laggy and Chris?
I mean, if you actually take a look at the score lines here, Laggy Puppy with 633 points, Chris with 388.
Mm.
Granted, combined they had 12 shots, but Chris seemed to be playing that second man role. And I think that's kind of what they're going to have to do to be able to get past J-Dubs and Prosperity.
Hmm.
Have somebody that's able to start that attack, or whether it be a regular attack or a counter attack, have one person be able to start that, and then somebody to be able to back that up and finish it. That's what's going to be the biggest key if the Monkeys want to be able to tie this series up.
Absolutely. And I want to ask you before we really start getting underway here, if the Monkeys aren't able to tie this series up, let's say the Rams win this game too, do you see the Monkeys winning a single game in this series?
Possible.
Okay.
Is it probable? No.
Okay. Oh, Chris, hello. One more. Oh, Prosperity with the save. That was really nice play from Chris, looking for the double hit, but Prosperity kind of sat back in his goal, which was absolutely the right thing to do in that situation. Nice pass from Chris. That one's just going to miss wide. Sorry, just above the top left-hand corner. Rams coming back forwards, and Prosperity's going to go for the shot. Laggy Puppy's going to be up, though. That is food and drink for the Monkeys defense. So nice shot there from Laggy, but Prosperity is the one making that save, and it seems like the two players that we kind of brought up as people who kind of have a little bit of a thing to prove, which is obviously Laggy Puppy and Prosperity, they seem to be the ones showing up in this game, Chris, KJ.
How dare you call me Chris after Laggy Puppy scores that opening goal off of a missed play by J-Dubs. But really, that goal was actually set up by Chris getting a bump on Prosperity. Let's be 100% honest on this one.
Sure.
If Chris doesn't get that bump, Prosperity is able to get a touch on that ball. That being said, I feel really offended that you called me Chris, and I'm really sad. But either way, it's fine. But yeah,
it's not fine.
Like you said, no, you're good. Like you said, the two players that we really wanted to watch out for was Laggy Puppy and J-Dubs, and they certainly have put on a showing for themselves that they do deserve to be here in the Elite League.
Absolutely, for sure. So Prosperity taking out Chris on the goal line pretty much at the Rams. Laggy Puppy going for the double touch. It's just the post. You don't get closer than that without scoring, and that is so unfortunate for Laggy to make it 2-0 to the Monkeys. Chris is going to find this one in the corner. He's going to get that boost first, and he's going to go up the wall. But J-Dubs with a little bit of a fake. Oh my goodness, that's an absolute thunderbolt pinched off between J-Dubs and Chris. Goes straight into the back of the Monkeys' net. No saving that one, and we're all tied up, KJ.
Yeah, I don't agree with that if that was 57 miles per hour, because with Laggy touching that should have been a lot faster. But I digress on that one. Tie game, though. 1 second under 3 minutes left to go. Still a lot of Rocket League for the Monkeys to be able to really start to take control of this series, and that's what they're going to have to do. They have to start taking control. Don't let the Rams break out of their half. Keep up the pressure when you can.
Absolutely, and they're going to try and do that. J-Dubs with another absolute demolition in the midfield, just stopping the Monkeys' attack in its tracks. Prosperity tries to get over the top of Laggy Puppy, but Laggy Puppy positions himself really nicely and is able to clear the ball. Chris trying to play this one around J-Dubs, does very well, looking now for his teammate in the midfield. Oh, did not want the pinch on the wall. That one's going to send it way over to the far left-hand side, and the Rams are going to be given a chance to push forwards now. Laggy and Prosperity fighting over it in the midfield, but it's going to bounce unkindly for the Rams, or is it? Oh, J-Dubs looking for the shot there, but unable to get it past the Monkeys' defense. Now Prosperity lays it over the top of Chris. Can he get it over the top of Laggy Puppy as well? It's a 1v1. Laggy Puppy, again positioned well, is able to get the save and the clear. J-Dubs going for the block on midfield, but Chris should be able to deal with that, and does. Prosperity playing this one back into the midfield. J-Dubs trying to get there ahead of Chris, but Chris just gets a touch on it, which means the shot is not an easy one for the Rams offense to take. Chris now trying to get control of this one. Laggy on the wall, actually. I didn't even see that. He is flying towards the Rams goal in the midfield. It's a free shot for Chris. He's going to go for the middle of the goal, but Prosperity is going to have a nice, easy save. And the Rams are going to try and turn this into some offense of their own. Chris sends it back into J-Dubs, but Prosperity trying to get up above, ahead of Laggy Puppy, unable to do so. And now Laggy trying to get J-Dubs. Nice read from the experienced Rams defender, but it seems like the Monkeys still have a shot here with Chris coming forwards. He kind of wanted to get a bit of harder flick on that ball to try and get it towards the net. Prosperity, oh my goodness, taking Laggy Puppy out the server. My goodness, Chris needing to do a bit of stalling tactics here. It's not quite worked. And J-Dubs just bullies the ball over the net. There's nothing the Monkeys could do about that one. Chris wanted a bit more of a save, but Laggy Puppy's respawn was in just the wrong position, KJ.
I'm so sorry for this, but just because you wear the muscle shirts doesn't mean you have the muscle to go behind it. J-Dubs proving that he's been lifting 600, but now Chris, on the other end, going to prove that, you know, sometimes wearing muscle shirts really shows, you know, how big you really are.
You can't, surely you can't send back to me after that. No, that's so unfair. Absolutely.
Okay, fine. Here, I'll provide a little bit more analysis as Laggy Puppy's going to be able to get himself another shot on goal. But the one thing I do want to say though, that and it's something that I've really noticed, is that J-Dubs has been an enforcer. Yes, he has shots and goals, but the demos that he's provided for space for Prosperity to do basically whatever he wanted to. J-Dubs has been an absolute menace and good opportunity there, but kind of squandered a little bit, and that's something that's kind of a theme we're seeing here in this one from the Monkeys.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been quite a lot of times where they've been pressuring, or they've got 2v1, or the passing play is there, and it's, excuse me, just not quite worked out for them. So an interesting second game where the Monkeys have certainly started to wake up a little bit, and they've started to really play their game, but it's still not 100%. There are still holes, there are still things that need to be improved, and they need to be improved right now in overtime if they're to win this second game, KJ.
Yeah, Monkeys definitely need to they need to get a win for themselves on the board, as Laggy's going to go up the wall to get the flip reset. He does. Great shot, but an even better save from J-Dubs. J-Dubs being the absolute beast of a defender that he has been thus far in this game.
Oh my goodness.
Prosperity, oh, right off the bar.
Prosperity.
Oh, Monkeys got away with murder on that one.
Absolute murder. Giving Prosperity a free shot like that is never a good idea, but oh my goodness, just can't quite get it across the line, and the Monkeys have some real panic defending to do right now. As Laggy Puppy challenges Prosperity, it does go towards the midfield. That's a fantastic shot from Chris into the bottom left-hand corner. And ladies and gentlemen, I have some very exciting news, and that is that the Monkeys have won their first game of Rocket League of the season. That's right. Before today, in the regular season, they had not won a game. That changes today. We're tied up in the series 1-1.
What a clanger. What a beautiful shot and read from Chris. Able to read that one off of the side wall. But we have to stop for a second and take a look at these statistics. Okay?
We sure do. Oh my goodness. Laggy Puppy
with 814 points, with 7 saves, 4 shots, a goal, and an assist. Chris, not too far behind, with 648, 2 goals, 1 assist, 2 saves, and 6 shots. Now, the biggest thing that stands out to me here is that the Rams outshot the Monkeys, but the quality of the shots was just not there for them.
Absolutely.
They were able to get the goals, but you know, especially within that overtime, just really unfortunate for Prosperity to hit that crossbar.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it pains me to say that, but I feel like that's one of those humbling moments of like, you're so accurate, and then to have that happen, it's just like, oh my God.
And then we're talking about the problem with it as well is that we're talking about a completely different game, completely different mentals if that goal goes in, right? Because the Rams would be 2-0 up. The Monkeys wouldn't have got their win on the board. They would still be searching for that game win. And I don't care how many seasons of Rocket League or games you've played, like that affects your mental when you're in a league like this. But they've now, pardon the pun, managed to get that monkey off their back.
Well done.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you. I appreciate that.
no.
Yeah, no. it's a career defining moment, that one. But you know, all jokes aside, they have managed to do that now, and so hopefully they can convert that into some real kind of pressure, and they can really start to make this league fear them a little bit, because up to now, that's not really been the case for this Monkey side. So let's see what they've got for the rest of this game, as Laggy Puppy now trying to pass to Chris. That's a boom of a shot downfield. J-Dub's going to be up to save that one though. It looked like it was destined for the top right hand corner, but is not going to find its place. Now Prosperity can bring this one forwards. Trying to get past Laggy Puppy, is able to do so, but Chris is going to be up first. Laggy Puppy with a nice little touch off the wall. Maybe on target, but we're never going to know, as J-Dub's with the save once again. Chris playing this one forwards, but J-Dub's playing on the front foot. He sends this one back towards the left-hand side for the Rams, and there's a free shot for Prosperity, and he's going to find the bottom left-hand corner. He hits that shot 10 times out of 10. You can't give him that kind of space in the midfield. 1-0 Rams.
Yeah, Chris got himself caught out going for that corner boost. Thought Laggy was going to be able to get another touch on the ball. Laggy not able to reach it, and Prosperity left with quite possibly the freest open net that he's seen besides in game one.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness, J-Dubs, he is finding the net. It's the second goal for the Rams. Feeling a bit like game one. It's a bit disjointed from the Monkeys, and the Rams are capitalizing, KJ.
Wow, what a shot there from J-Dubs, able to bury that up in the top right corner of the goal. And yeah, Rams starting off quick and fast. The only thing is...
Oh no. Oh
well,
no.
I was going to say, the only thing is, are they going to be able to keep it up? But with a kickoff like that, what a read from Prosperity.
Incredible.
To be able to get that third goal for the Rams. 3:38 left. Plenty of time for the Monkeys, but the fact that there's been back-to-back kickoff goals, that has something to do with the mental.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, the Monkeys are going to be real mad about that one for sure. I can already hear the Chris with a K excuses coming in very soon. But he now tries to find his teammate in the midfield, looking for a bump play, not able to do that, and the Rams are going to clear. Sorry, Chris, we love you. J-Dub's going to try and find his teammate. No, he isn't. He's just going to go straight for goal. Plays it over the top of Laggy. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think I would have expected Laggy to save that one.
I don't think he was ready for the chip, though. I think Laggy was prepared for J-Dubs to keep that one on the ground, but very, very well played by J-Dubs to just kind of get a little pop on the ball and get that over Laggy Puppy.
And I think something that's really clear, and something we kind of brought up on game one, nice save from Chris, prevent another kickoff goal, is that I think you were absolutely right in what you said about the fact that game one was a bit of a feeler game, but now these two teams, it almost feels like they know what each other want to do. It feels like they've kind of figured each other out now, and the Rams are taking advantage of that. I mean, you know, the Monkeys kind of playing on the back foot. They're not 100% on their reads. They don't exactly know where the Rams are going to play the ball. But the Rams seem to know exactly what the Monkeys are going to do at any given time, and they're making them pay for it.
Yeah, and you can definitely see that with the way Prosperity and J-Dubs are reading the passing plays that the Monkeys are trying to implement, and it's just not going their way. They're able to get the ball over that first defender, but getting it past the second one has proved very, very difficult for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the most important thing is, like, when there is the second defender, Chris, that's a wonderful little chip over both of the players to convert the goal. But just before that, we saw where, you know, I believe it was Prosperity who was out of position, and rather than challenge the ball 50-50, and this is something that we bring up quite a lot, certainly in Elite League, these rotations, J-Dubs doesn't go for the challenge. He instead sits back and really makes Chris think about where he wants to put the ball, and kind of put pressure on the fact that, you know, you're only going to have a 2-on-1 advantage for so long. And if you can stall out the one player that's in... Sorry, if you can stall out the offense, then that one player in defense becomes two, because you've got that time to get back in defense. And that's exactly what we're seeing from the Rams here. Really nice rotations, really good understanding of where the other player is on the pitch at any given time.
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things, is making sure you know where that second person is. because if not, it's a very difficult task to win if you only know where one person is at all times. And the Rams have disguised so well of being able to get past the monkeys.
Absolutely. So we'll bring you back into the action. 1 minute 20 on the clock with the Rams with a 4-1 lead. It could be 2. It hits the crossbar from Chris, and that's just unfortunate from him. Laggy Puppy takes Prosperity out the server. It might not matter. Oh my goodness, that's just wide left from J-Dubs. But they almost made the most of that opportunity. Now Laggy Puppy plays this one towards his captain, but Chris driving around trying to find a little bit of a bump play, not able to find one right now. Laggy Puppy plays it into the corner, but Prosperity reads that one really nicely. Now Laggy Puppy plays it into the midfield, but J-Dubs is going to be there on the read. That one looks destined for the net. Chris, fantastic save with the aerial. And now the monkeys try and push forwards, but it seems that J-Dubs is going to be there with the read. Laggy Puppy now up in the air, looking for the second touch. He is going to get it, but it's not got no power behind it whatsoever, and the Rams are able to bring it clear. 36 seconds on the clock for the monkeys to find 3 goals. Doesn't look likely, but stranger things have happened. Chris coming forwards now, trying to get it past J-Dubs. It's 2v1 if they can make it work. Laggy Puppy trying to play it over the top of J-Dubs. It's a fantastic save from the retreating Prosperity, and if the game wasn't over before that, KJ, I think it is now.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree with you on that one. Monkeys seem just panicked, not able to really get anything going as of right now. They were able to do it last game, but this game is just looking a little rough. But Laggy Puppy going to be able to secure a second goal for the monkeys. 4 seconds left. I think it's safe to say that we're going to be moving on to game number 4.
I don't think that's in any doubt whatsoever, but you have to say that's a really nice passing play coming out from the monkeys, and it shows the danger that they do have when both of the players are on the same page and they get the shot that they want. Nice little fake coming out from Chris. He goes straight for J-Dub, says you are mine. But that ball's going to drop to the ground. The Rams take game 3, and they are now on match point. KJ, do they convert?
Okay, I'm going to give you both sides of this. For the Rams, keep doing what you're doing. It's working. You guys are able to bounce out of your own half and able to maintain pressure on this Monkeys team. Conversely to that, the Monkeys need to be more aggressive on the offense. They have Chris with a K has this style of, well, for lack of a better term, he's got that ruthless aggression, especially whenever it comes to being on offense. We have not seen that. Where is that aggression at? That's what they're going to have to do to get past both Prosperity and J-Dubs.
Yeah, I agree. There does need to be a lot more aggression from Monkeys. He needs to take a page out of John Cena's book when he first joined the WWE. That's a niche reference for some of you at home.
That's why I made it.
That's one of them ones. If you know, you know. But I also 100% agree with you that, you know, even Laggy Puppy needs to be a little bit more aggressive. I mean, we know that Laggy Puppy wants to be a bit more of a flair player. He wants to do a bit more of the aerial tricks, but you also need to be willing to do that groundwork, do the dirty stuff, and really try and bring it to this Rams team. And he's going to try and do that right now by bullying the ball into the net, and that's exactly what he does from kickoff, and that's exactly what we wanted to see, KJ.
It's actually perfect, a perfect 50-50. Prosperity not able to get to it. And hey, Monkeys find themselves up quickly 6 seconds into the game. But the thing is, and this is the big question mark, is whether they can continue it.
I was so convinced Chris was just going to take a shot then. Oh my goodness.
Besides, I believe that was game 2. We haven't really seen it whenever they are able to at least get one. They're not able to maintain that positive energy to be able to keep going for the offensive plays.
No, but that's an interesting point that you bring up about game 2, because it brings us to a really interesting statistic in this game, which is the team that scored first statistically has won each of the games that we've had so far. Rams scored first in game 1, they win the game. Monkeys scored first in game 2, they win the game. Rams scored first in game 3, they win the game. We will see if that pattern is going to continue, but not if Prosperity has anything to say about it. He soars through the air with the pass from J-Dubs over the top of Chris, nothing he could do about it, and finds the top right-hand corner. We're all tied up, but again, this is reminiscent of Game 2 rather than any of the other games, KJ.
Really, I think another interesting point to bring up is the fact that, Game 1 was sort of a blowout by the Rams,
Sure.
right? Game 2, we went to overtime.
OT, yeah.
Game 3, sort of a blowout by the Rams again. Do we see that game 4 overtime? And can the Monkeys bounce back and be able to tie this series up yet again?
Well, that is exactly what we are finding out in the next 3 minutes and 40 seconds, KJ, as Prosperity tries to make sure that doesn't happen. But Chris with a good read sends this one back towards Rams territory. Now, Chris on the wall. He's looking for his teammate. Who's going to be able to get up first? It's actually going to be Prosperity. Laggy Puppy takes a bit more of a defensive position, and maybe that was a good idea. I don't think he'd have got to the ball first in the air. So good decision making coming up from Laggy Puppy. Now the Rams are sitting back. They're kind of saying, right, Monkeys, what can you do on offense? Come forwards and we will, we'll deal with it. And that's exactly what they have done, sending it back towards the Monkeys net. But Chris there with the save. J-Dubs, if that's destined for the goal, that goes in. And that's exactly what happens. I'm not sure where Laggy Puppy was in the rotation, but he wasn't anywhere to be seen on defense. And J-Dubs just puts a very easy goal into the net from midfield.
That was a little bit of a misplay there by Chris. I don't know exactly what the boost situation there was, but gotta control that ball, especially with that much space. He had so much space in the midfield to be able to utilize, and we're not really seeing that from either of the Monkeys, as that's a good pop-up by Laggy, but again, able to get past one, getting past that second defender, proving very difficult as J-Dubs once again putting himself on the board, getting himself a second goal off of a great pass by Prosperity.
This is now concerning to me. Okay, as someone who's watched Chris in many seasons of FDL, as someone who, really wants Chris to get his 5-5 for the season. This is really concerning to me. I'm not seeing a cutting edge. I'm seeing the Rams kind of sit back on defense and say, okay, if you want to score, you're going to have to get through us. And the Monkeys not having the answers to that right now. Laggy Puppy is going to be able to convert that one, so maybe there's something to be said for that. But that was, there wasn't really much rhyme or reason to that particular play. J-Dubs just had to get the clear, and Laggy Puppy happened to be there. Right? For me, when I'm looking at kind of offensive patterns and things that you practice, I'm not seeing a lot of stuff from the Monkeys that's making me go, oh yeah, it's very clear that these two have played a lot together and they know each other well.
So, on that last play, excuse me, I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure Laggy wasn't about to do something dirty.
He could have done. He could have done.
Something that I kind of noticed is that the Monkeys are more than happy to allow the ball to come to them. But really, they should be pressuring this ball at all times. You're down in the series, you're down in the game. You've got to be able to do something, and maybe, just maybe, taking advantage of a weaker player might be the key.
It might be. I mean, Chris has a 1v1 with J-Dubs there, but he stands his ground very well. He sends that back out into midfield. Laggy Puppy, kind of wanted to send that one back to goalwards, but he's not able to do so. Chris sends that one into the top right-hand corner, and Laggy Puppy gets the second hit. Now there's a conversation. Now there's a conversation to be had, okay? The Monkeys have seems like they've woken up. Chris maybe looking for goal there, but he finds the top right-hand corner, and Laggy Puppy is able to convert. And now we're all tied up. 1:30 on the clock. No whitewash here, no absolute stomping from either team. We go back to it feeling a bit like game 2, and the Monkeys, ever since going 3-1 down, they seem like they've locked in again, KJ.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need to be doing. They need to be locking in, making sure that they're able to take advantage of what they've had the most of, which is space. The Rams are just giving them so much space, but at the same time, the Monkeys are doing the same thing for the Rams.
Yeah, they are, and that was a really nice boost still actually coming up from Chris in the midfield. J-Dubs wanted that big boost, but he wasn't able to get it because of Chris's presence. So Nice little side play from him as Chris now trying to find the ball into the midfield, but J-Dub says not in my house, and he absolutely wipes him from the server. Now Prosperity trying to bring this one forwards, but Laggy's going to be up. Nice 50 from Prosperity, good read. Chris needs to deal with this and does into the open space on the right hand side, and now he tries to get it past J-Dubs. Another good 50 coming out from Chris. He needed one more because Prosperity had managed to get back in defense, but wasn't going to be able to find it. This is a dangerous ball for the Monkeys if they don't get the clearer, but they do. And no, again, off your point, notice how the Rams are completely sitting back against their own goal line. J-Dub's on the midfield line and Prosperity back goal. They're getting the Monkeys all of this space, all of this room. They need to be able to capitalise on this, but they are going to try and get a quick counter-attack now with J-Dubs coming forwards, looking for the aerial shot into the goal. Huggy Puppy there with the save, though. Really nice from him. 2 seconds on the clock. We might be going to our second OT of the series. If Prosperity can do something. Oh my goodness. So close, but yet so far, KJ.
Ooh, that was too close for comfort. Like, Rhino, what's our favorite thing here? We love content. And
We love content.
I feel like with the way the Monkeys have finally started to wake up a little bit and be able to get that offensive pressure, I feel like both of these teams have played absolutely incredible, especially here in Game 4.
Absolutely. I mean, dangerous play there from Chris, almost a fatal mistake as he tried to wipe J-Dubs from existence, but just quite missed it. He's gone for it again, but he's not able to get the slippery J-Dubs. That's a free shot for Prosperity. He looks for the goal. Oh my goodness, we are all done and dusted here, KJ.
That is very unfortunate, and to be honest with you, you hate to see it. You hate to see the Monkeys going down in the season 0-3. That is very, very unfortunate.
That's rough. That's a rough start for sure. But it's also worth mentioning that the Rams came here and they played really, really well. They showed that they had a game plan. They gave the Monkeys the space, but they knew that they could damage them on the counter attack. And I think Chris, maybe and Laggy were a bit too. They tried a bit too hard in the end to try and get those demos, those bump plays, and that ended up coming back to bite them in that OT.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to be honest here, and I know my honesty sometimes can be lost in translation, the Monkeys didn't exactly make use of the opportunities that they were given.
Mm-hmm.
That
No,
being said, they didn't play a bad series.
no, not at all.
By all means, they did not play a bad series. There was just a lot of missed opportunities.
Absolutely, but we are going to speak now to two people who took their opportunities in that series. Your winning side, we have the Rams joining us on the casting booth, Prosperity and J-Dubs. J-Dubs, how's that feel?
Well, that feels great because, I definitely do not feel like I belong here in Elite League. And, it was good. Of course, fun rivalry since I'm friends with both Laggy and Chris, and I'm happy that we were able to get the dub out, but they still played a great game. I was definitely really nervous, especially whenever Chris and Laggy got it on their hoods. I definitely think in a lot of aspects I just got lucky on a bit of my saves. I know I kind of had a couple of them. I remember I was sitting after game 1 seeing 6 on my save thing. I'm like, uh-oh. Well, usually that's a bad thing, but in this case, we managed to pull it out. Largely thanks to my teammate.
Ever the humble man. I'm going to quickly switch over to Prosperity, and we talked a lot about on the casting table about the fact that you were giving the Monkeys quite a lot of room when you realized that you'd lost possession. Was that a game plan that you had talked about before going into this game, or was that just the way that the game kind of played out?
Yeah, I guess it kind of was. We didn't talk about any strategy, that's for sure. But I mean, personally, I know J Dubs is good friends with him, but I don't know how they play, especially Laggy. I've never played against him really, so I don't know how they played, and they did play a lot more slowly and on the ground, which honestly I felt suited us since, as J Dubs alluded to, he doesn't feel like he belongs in Elite League.
I don't play Rocket League.
Yeah, he's a Valorant main.
Oh,
But
What?
no, not really.
Wait a
I
minute.
just threw the game. I just threw a random game. Fall Guys. But yeah, no, I mean it's to counter his humbleness though. Uh,
Huh?
in my opinion, this is a win that we should be getting as a franchise. So especially with the aspirations of making playoffs and I guess being an underdog in the league that some people might think, but I think this is definitely an expected a W.
AJ, anything you would like to ask our esteemed guest?
Yeah, actually, I have a couple things. Um, First of
Of
all,
course you do.
congratulations on your guys' win.
Thank you.
I know, especially for you, J Dubs, you and Chris have had this little bit of a rivalry going back and forth over the past, since the
No.
inception of the FDL.
Do you want to know something really funny?
No.
So that is the
Oh,
first time I've ever gotten to play Chris in a season
Well, really?
Well,
because,
now you can lord this over him forever.
uh, yeah,
I wouldn't recommend it though, but
no,
that's that.
I think I'll wait a couple weeks and then I'll say something. But gotta take something. But that was the first time I've ever gotten to play against him because I mean I haven't been in the same league as Chris since season one, and we were on the same team briefly when I got a roster spot on the Penguins at the tail end of the season, and that
Well,
was all I ever saw playtime there.
well,
And
e-
then I've
either
been
way.
I've been sniffing at his heels for a while now, just
oh,
the league behind him. But who knows? I barely tapped 16 the past 2 seasons in ranked, so here I am.
Either way, it's a pleasure to be able to see you on the field here in Elite League. Although I will ask this: Game one, you guys absolutely, were very dominant offensively. Game three, the same. Monkeys end up taking game two. Was there any sort of maybe wonder as to whether Chris and Laggy were about to just have an absolutely pop off series going into game four?
no.
I feel like if you asked me that in game two when they opened, I definitely would have said yeah. But in game four, it kind of not the it felt like the same song and dance almost because obviously game one and three played relatively similarly, and games two and four played relatively similarly. They opened and we just were able to get it out in OT instead of losing it in OT like in game two. But I don't know. I wasn't overly. It's not that I wasn't concerned. I just don't think it was. I didn't expect a blowout from there. If we were gonna lose after or going into game four, it was gonna be because they had to take the fight to us a bit more.
I agree with J Dubs or Jack as some call him.
Who?
We're on a first name basis. If you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, look after in game one, I don't know what kind of fake kickoff, Spanish kickoff, or whatever that kickoff was. If you're trying that in game one of a series, I'm not worried.
Ooh.
I don't know why people do that. Like it just doesn't
Well,
make any sense to me. Like it just shows, in my opinion, a lack of respect for the other opponent because you think you can pull off like a cool kickoff on them, especially game one. Like you're not up 2-1, like 3-0 in the series or something. Like game one, like sheesh, that's a lot of confidence. So
hmm,
once they did that, and and after you take game one, you're good enough to beat them. So that's what we did.
yeah.
J Dubs
Mm.
hard carry as usual.
You do bring up a very good point there, Prosperity, about people you might be worried about when you get into the server. We got a question from chat, and people want to know,
Oh, my fans?
yeah, if there
Yeah.
is a
Fan.
team, if there is a team this season that you are particularly worried about facing going forwards in the season.
I mean, me personally, this is no this is just me not being a part of FDL. I don't know any other teams. Um,
Okay.
so I know, uh, I don't know. J Dubs, can you enlighten me or anyone like?
Yeah. Um.
FDL.gg, all the teams are
FDL.gg.
listed right there. And if you want to, go fill out the intent. Okay.
Oh, hey, yo, the
He just
member form.
asked
That's crazy.
Pluggy plug.
Um. Yeah, I stole P2K out of retirement here since he was an earlier face, but not a recent face until now,
Oh
bursting
wow.
back onto the scene.
Hmm.
I
Um,
never retired.
sure. Anyway,
I played
uh,
every season.
that's the same day I
Huh?
became a Valorant pro.
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
okay, yeah. I'm retired.
Pokemon.
I'm
Anyway,
old.
Pokemon main.
Yeah.
no, the teams that I'm a little bit nervous about going forward, the Vipers. I didn't get to play that series, and by God, thank God that it wasn't me playing because I can tell you if that I was on the field in place of either Prosperity here or Kramen, I would have lost us that series. Absolutely. Because Sniz is dangerous.
Mm.
And Aqua's a really good player too. He just didn't quite show off what he could right at the beginning. But God, he's good. The Vipers, I'm very nervous about playing again.
Mhm.
The Griffins, we lost to them in the first week, but also they lost Hydro, and that is easily their best player.
Mhm.
So, I'm not as concerned about them going forward. I don't know. Outside of that, I think we've got a really good team, and I think we're pretty much set on a playoff spot. I just want to see how far we're gonna go, because I've only ever
Wow.
gotten to the first round in playoffs or not at all.
I don't know. I'm scared. I just looked up someone on the Dragons. His
Mhm.
name
Oh,
Ten
true.
Piece Nugget. I'm
10
shook
piece is
by
pretty
him,
good.
bro. Yo, they're coming different. I like that name too. Dragons, like
10 piece is good
nice.
too.
That's
There are definitely a lot of good teams,
who's
and
on
we
the
are
Dragons?
there. There are
Uh,
people that on the other side that I think are also very scary because the
Mhm.
Gators and the Gators with a new pickup, Seagulls are pretty decent. There are teams I'm nervous about on the other side of the pond, but we won't have to worry about
yeah.
that until playoffs, I suppose.
And it seems like we are very confident about the Rams getting to playoffs in this particular chat. Very, very interesting conversation. Thank you both for joining us for a post-match interview here today. And that is not going to be it for your fill of FDL tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, we've got 2 more games coming up for you. The next game at 10 o'clock, which is just in 5 minutes' time, is going to be the Lobsters against the Gators in Star League. So stick around for that one. It's just 5 minutes away. Don't go anywhere. We will see you in 5.
Yeah. Ah. Okay. It's game time. I'm on one, like it's Kelly and I'm Bay bound. Treat the greatest competition like the playground. Freestyling Jay Spin and make them say wow. Then I beat the brakes off until I'm stay down. Became a king from a common man, and I turned my worst critics to my staunchest fans and worked at it until the world was believing. They gave them no choice but to see it. They say the greats always aim high and still stay grounded at the same time. And so they see a sky native with a hang time. That's why ain't no one can see us when it's game time. They say the greats always aim high and still stay grounded at the same time. And so they see a sky native with a hang time. That's why ain't no one can see us when it's game time.
Close eyes and body see through.
gentlemen, welcome back. I know it was such a short break, but I am back. Once again, I am KJ, but I am joined here by a new person on the desk. It's always nice to have some new blood. Please help me welcome Maki. Maki, welcome to the casting desk. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great actually, KJ. I dropped my phone out of a 60-mile-an-hour car on the highway in a Jeep with no doors, and it survived. I ran out of the Jeep, found it laying on the side of the highway, had flipped on the concrete at least 3 times, and I turned the screen on and it works perfectly fine. So I'm having a great day. Thank you for
My
asking.
my question is, did you jump out of the Jeep while it was going 60 miles per hour, or did you stop the Jeep first?
I guess the only way I can answer that is, do you think I'm as durable as an iPhone 12?
Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know about you, but if that's one of the things, I'm impressed, and I believe that you should go to Ripley's Believe It or Not. That being said, we have a Star League matchup, and it is well, it is your league. At the same time, you gave me some information I'm gonna kind of use against you. Um,
Of course.
this is gonna be between the Gators and the Lobsters for Star League, right? And you said something to me, not too long ago, saying that this is the same Gators team that beat you in season 2 of the finals in Game 7.
Yes, that is correct. This is my boogeyman team. I don't. We haven't faced them. We won't face them in the regular season, but I'm not looking forward to our matchup against them.
Well, in that case, because you know how good these guys are, do the Gators have a chance against the expert champions who are now in Star League of Frank and Jaquittal?
Yeah, I think this is tough for me because I love both Frank and Jaquittal as people. They're both great guys. Jaquittal is coming off of a haunting loss last week from I believe the Penguins with Hawkish playing against him, and he was not happy about that. So I think he's
Ooh,
coming out here with something to prove. Um,
I mean, to be fair, I
but
wouldn't be happy about that either, but I digress.
um, that being said, I have to believe in Stoobs and Gators too. So I think it's gonna be a good game. But if I had to put money anywhere, like a smart better, I would do it based on my emotions, and I would put that money on Jaquittal and Frank because I love those guys.
Yeah, and that team is deadly as it is, as they proved last season. But I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to you, Mr. Play-by-Play. Take it away.
Yes, sir. Jaquittal gonna get a touch from the corner here. I don't think it's what he wanted, but it's gonna buy him a little bit of time, give Frank time to get in position. Unfortunately, Frank can't get the touch. Jaquittal alone on defense, 2v1. Looking like a tough spot, but unfortunately, Stoop did not get the touch to punish. Frank gonna come up here on the ball, get a touch to the corner, up to Jack. He's gonna struggle to do anything with this though because of how awkward it is. Dropping off the backboard, almost gets a huge dunk on the goal line. Frank with some good patience there. Jaquittal with a huge bump, but unfortunately they can't finish the play out. Gonna pass back middle though, and nobody's there to control this. Motion now with low boost buck control, and he's getting some respect. Gets it over one. He's gonna go slow again. Oh my god. Yeah, Stoop's just a little bit awkward on the play there. Should have stayed more middle, and he would have had that easy free shot. But they still have the pressure here, so it doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things, as we're still in the first minute of the game, now just passing over that mark. Let's see. Oh, go ahead, please.
I was going to jump in real quick and say that Frank and Jaquittal seem to be a little bit slower than Motions and Stoobs, because I'm noticing the Gators are getting a relatively decent amount of pressure, and the Lobsters not really breaking out of that defensive half too often.
Yeah, and it's
Well,
looking
never
like-
mind.
There you go. I guess they low amount of pressure throughout the entire game, but they're able to capitalize on the first opportunity, although there have been many for both. And I don't see necessarily any advantage here so far, other than maybe the Gators having a little bit of advantage in pressure.
Seems like the Gators also have a little bit of advantage in speed as well. But as you know just as well as I do, speed doesn't mean everything. It does mean a lot, but it's not everything whenever it comes to twos for Rocket League.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Oh my god, that's gonna pinch straight in. What is going on?
Well, this is Star League, Maki. What do you expect? Come on, man. We had 2 pinch goals in the last game of Elite. You know, these guys, all these guys like you, are just one little bit away from being in Elite League. So we got to have at least 1 or 2 pinches a game.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge. Wow, what a great recovery by Stu, I was going to say. That was a huge dunk from Motions, especially to have the wherewithal to hit that towards the net. Reading that 50 very well. Brooks was going to be air dribbling it down the field, buying some time for his teammate, bumping off the back wall, attempting to at least. This could be a goal. Yeah, it's going to be free. Motions needed to speed foot towards the net there, and he rode along the wall a little bit too long. Kind of left him out of the play. Unfortunate.
Yeah, and a good job by Frank to keep that ball under control. You know, the hardest goals to make are the open nets, and Frank definitely proving that he is able to hit open nets.
Yeah, really took his time with it, which is what you want to see out of a player in this situation. Looks like Steve can have a chance to open that here too. Gets a 50 at the goal line. Good on Jack for recovering in time. And good 50 from Motions. Going to be right back in this play here. Unfortunately, another player can get the touch. I like that challenge from Stoods. He has to pressure that ball. He gets it safely into his other corner, allows him and his teammate both to recover into good position for either of the enemy players to take this opportunity. Stoods fumbling a little bit in the corner. He's going to be a little bit calmer in the future because now they're okay.
Oh, what a save from Jaquittle. And a second touch. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So this is the speed that we're going to be playing at right now. Because right now, this is looking a lot faster than the Elite game that we just watched.
He's going to struggle to save that one. Yeah. Wow. I mean, great speed, great double touch on the wall to get that full cleared, and then immediately back at him from motion from Stu. So we're just going to put the ball right back in their half, force them into awkward saves on defense, and eventually get the goal.
Yeah, and that's the Stews that we have seen time and time again with this Gators team. You know, a big-time shooter, not too much in the way of a passer, but whenever he needs to, he does what he has to.
You're right. Stoops is a solo player through and through, and he is quick. So he can afford to do that because of how deadly he is. A lot of players think you need to pass all the time or even often. I would say that's actually not the case in twos. I would say if you can make a solo play and get it past 1 or 2, that's the best pass you ever can get for your team. Not going to be taking this upfield, getting it past 1. I believe Motion's going to be back on the ring, so it's going to be Stoops, but he gets perfectly back in the net. Motion's touching this up the wall to make it awkward for him. Taking his time here, I love to see that. He doesn't rush that touch in the wall. He really takes the time, gets it over 1. Unfortunately, can't finish it, but it allows him to keep pressure for much longer if you really just bang that across the net.
If you don't mind, I do have a question for you. Based off of what we're seeing from both of these teams, do either of these teams make you nervous?
I don't know that it's my place to answer that question, but I would, if I were to answer honestly, I would say no. I really wholeheartedly believe in my team. Actually, I believe Debbie told me just before this game that the Dragons have the best win differential of any team of any organization as an organization within the league. A crucial bump coming through. He doesn't get the touch. Oh my god, 1 second. He doesn't get the bump, but he forces him to be a little bit awkward on this, forces him to jump over, and then he can't get the touch to get the 50. That's insane. Wow. 1 second left in the clock.
What a play. I mean, this is a different style of Frank and Jaquittle, because I do not remember seeing a lot of this stuff from last season whenever they were an expert. I mean, They look like 2 totally different players than what they were last season.
Yeah, absolutely. They were forced to push the pace this game, especially, and they rose to the challenge. They had some awkward situations. It's maybe a little bit different than how they're used to playing, but they pulled through in the end, especially with that huge bump goal at the end.
Yeah, and one of the big things to kind of take note of is the Gators were able to put up 8 shots, but the quality of the shots wasn't necessarily there. They did get 2 goals out of that, but 6 of those shots were either saved, and there was one shot that wasn't exactly a great shot. That being
Yeah,
said, though, the Gators really have to be focusing on the shot placement.
yeah, I agree, and I think maybe some of that was just first game nerves. I mean, you see a 1-goal scoreline with that big of a shot differential in game 1, and you gotta think the Gators should not be worried right now. They need to do what they're doing, do exactly what they've been doing. They need to keep this immense pressure on, and just put slightly better quality shots on, and they'll start connecting more and more. So they shouldn't be worried going into this second game. I think they'll be fine.
So then let me ask you this: do the Gators regain and tie this series up?
I think so. I think they win this year, and then the Lobsters are going to have to readapt. I don't think that was a clean enough win from them to say that they're guaranteed to win this game. I think, if anything, it's more likely that they drop this one. But I don't know. I mean, maybe the Gators don't have the mental to pull through. Although I can't believe that's true, because I went all the way to Game 7 with this exact Gators lineup, and they were cold as ice the entire series.
I actually remember that series too, because I believe I casted it.
Yeah, it still haunts me in my dreams. I think about it every night. Unfortunate. Big shot opportunity for Jaquito there. He can't quite connect. Wants to place it a little better, because he knew if he put a bad shot on it, it was going to get saved. And couldn't quite get the touch that he wanted. Throwing in the corner from Frank, but he's going to put a bad touch on initially. And those are those opportunities right there. Stoops can't get that shot in. Motions can't finish it either, because it's a little awkward for both of them. Big demo coming through from Jaquito. And now they're completely safe on defense. They have time to control. Jaquito going to dribble this downfield. Big flip. Now, I think,
is it just me, or do the Gators seem to be struggling for boost?
They do. Follow boost right now, 23 from Roshan. It's not looking so out there on defense. They're completely starved. And they're surviving for now, but a big shot can come through here. It might be just enough to make it awkward. They get the clear out. Steve's going to play that boost in the corner. They're both committing there. They're so close. They're so close to getting these shots off. They just need to put their offense together just a little bit more, and they'll be fine. Motion's big touchdown field. It's probably going to get blocked here. Straight to the corner. Take it straight back into the net. It seems like there's
Wait a minute. Hold on. No. We can't just skip past what just happened there.
Okay.
The pinch clear from Frank and Jaquito on that. It looked so weak. It did not look like it was going anywhere, but yet it still made its way all the way down to the other end of the field. You can't just skip past that.
Those balls can be so deceiving. If they don't land ceiling, they'll just float at such high altitude for such a long time. They'll make their way all the way down the field as the defenders try to position for a good touch. It just seems like Motions and Steves right now are just not there to follow up on each other's touches. Big save, but it comes at the double commit from the Lobsters. And a big touch mid. I'm gonna look for a demo here from Steves. They just can't put the offense together, but it's still 0-0 right now. Any goal here could change this game, and that could have been a big shot. Could have going to take this in the corner. All the way up the wall. Going to play this really slowly as he's low boost, and gets the beat on one defender. And he could even potentially beat 2 there. So a little more patience for him, take a low 50, and he's clean and free right there for his teammate to put that in. That being said, they're still looking good on pressure. I would say, actually, even the Lobsters have looked better on pressure this game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Lobsters have found themselves down in the Gators half a lot more than what they did in the first game. But conversely to that, they seem to be giving the ball away a lot, but it's not really having too much of an effect on them. Because, granted, the Lobsters are still able to maintain the offensive pressure. They're not able to get the sort of shots that the Gators have been able to get.
This is a big opportunity for them. They got to beat on one. Can't get the cut in the corner. And that's a big commit right there. It's going to be a little bit awkward, but fortunately Frank cuts in early to stop this ball from getting into their half. Gives them a little bit of time to recover here on defense. Big save from Jaquittal. He's going to have to do it again. And he's not going to get some good shot from Motions.
Yeah, and that's the kind of placement that, you know, both Motions and Stoops need to be considering. You know, putting that one defender that's sitting back in net, putting them in an awkward position that if they make one save, it forces them to have to make a second. So it was perfectly played, and the rotation around for the shot was absolutely genius to be able to get that one player to commit once and then be awkward enough to be able to put a second shot on goal.
Yeah, I agree. And I think potentially both of these teams are just maybe playing a little bit faster than they're comfortable with right now. Because I expect higher shot quality out of both teams here. That is a big team touch clear for them. Unfortunately, she's going to stop this in the midfield, get a pinch on the sidewall, and pop it up really high. Awkward touch for Jaquittal. I think he's not going to be able to keep it up. That's unfortunate.
Very much so, but my analysis, some people don't like it whenever I do my analysis. I'd like to actually see more out of Stoops. It seems like Stoops has become such a staple with the Gators, and with the way his play style is, he's very, very aggressive. And we're not really seeing that aggression come out. Because he is, as you said earlier, he is such an offensive threat that, you know, people almost have to give him a little bit of respect. At the same time, challenging him early is going to be key for both Frank and Jaquittal to be able to put Motions in those 2v1 situations. We saw a lot of shots come out from the Gators, but only one goal. Again, the shot quality just does not seem to be there for this Gators team.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like Motions is playing a first man role right now in most of these scenarios, allowing Stoops to sort of stay back, play a little more defensively, and potentially be there for the shot. But it seems like Stoops is not always in the right position for the shot. Maybe it's a little bit awkward for him. Hey, that's a picture of me, AP Beats, by the way, in chat. That is a picture of me. Don't laugh at it. That hurts my feelings. Thank you.
I'll laugh at it because I can. On a legal standpoint, I can.
This is true. I just want to say that I think both of these teams need an increase in shot quality. I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know if it's that they're playing at a faster pace than what they're used to. But I know that both teams are capable of better shots here. So if they slow the games down a little bit in positions that they're comfortable with, almost an insane double touch, then I believe that we'll see a much higher scoring game with how many shots are being put up on the board here. Right now, the big opportunity for Motions, he's going to sink it. Good patience to wait for that to pop into the perfect position for him to shoot it as quickly as possible.
And that's the kind of shot quality we are expecting to see and hoping to see. One shot. Well, I don't want to sound like Eminem right now. You know, one shot, one opportunity. But one shot, one goal. That's kind of what we're looking at. Be able to keep that pressure, maintain it, get some good quality shots, make your opponent use their boost. Biggest key that at least that I have noticed whenever it comes to twos. Make your opponent use the boost. Gives you an opportunity for a high shot that they may not be able to get to.
Yeah, I agree. I think if either of these teams, but especially the Gators, huge.
There it is.
Stoops. This is what you expect to see out of this Gators team.
That's the aggressive Stoops that we have all come to know and love. Just being able to be there to put that shot in, beautifully done and well executed.
It looks like a lack of communication there from from the lobster. Sorry, I had to swallow. My throat's a little bit dry. But fortunately, they still have 3.5 some odd minutes in the game. Big shots. Wow.
This for Gators team. This
Yeah,
is
this-
this is a whole heck of a lot different than what we saw in games 1 and 2.
This is exactly what we asked of them. They they put in a slightly higher quality of shots, and they're just scoring. They're scoring. I think they're probably close to 100% shooting this game. I can actually check that real quick. I just realized. Yeah,
I think they're off by 1.
yeah, they're 3 for 4 right now, which is exactly what you want to see out of this team. A little bit more patience. Great patience there from Motions to wait, force them into coming to the challenge. And now, all of a sudden, it looks like the Lobsters are the team that are uncomfortable with this pace, and the Gators are thriving.
What a 50-50.
I gotta watch this again. I'm not. I'll be honest with you, I can't even really tell exactly what happened. Oh,
Frank just built different. Frank just bigger.
a little bit of a ghost touch on Motions in there. It looked like, but you
Nah,
know,
no.
you understand.
Frank big.
Frank is massive. Oh my god. Motions can be a big clear. Steve can have time to control, and this is what I like to see. He's taking the time to control that ball. And it gives them a good opportunity to keep pressure in there. Frank can go for the double here. Can't quite get it. Squidward's gonna have to recover. I don't think he realized he had his flip right there. Unfortunate. Could have helped him recover a little bit, but now Frank in a 1v1. Gonna get a great touch and a clear, and he's gonna follow this. Hold on a minute. Almost gets the double. A great play by Frank.
I might have beat a little. If he would have hit that, I might have beat a little.
Hey man, if you gotta go to the bathroom, you know it's not serious. You can go. The stream will live on. Don't worry. That's a rough pinch from Jaquittle though. He's gonna have to struggle to get back here. Gonna get to the corner on a double commit from Frank. And they're holding on by a thread here. 2 minutes left in the game. Plenty of time to make this comeback, but it's not looking too hot for them right now.
I'm still looking for Stoops to start going for those bumps and demo plays that he has done so many times and has done so well.
Huge shot here. I'm not sure what happened to Stoops as he just paused at the goal line. He potentially could have gotten to this ball. I want to watch this again.
He went for the boost.
That is boost over ball.
Every time, man, that 100 boost, it just looks oh so shiny. Just really unfortunate that he was not able to get back to it. But I think he was on 0 boost, but he made up for it right there. I mean,
And I love to see this from Stoops. This is textbook. He sees that Frank is awkward on the goal line, and instead of pushing this super fast pace that they've been pushing all 3 games so far, he takes his time, slows down, controls the game, realizes that he has the space, and just pops in really an unsavable shot from that position. I love that he's taking his time there, and that's going to be a free ball for Motions. This is the minutia right here. This is what separates a lot of players from each other, is recognizing right there that he has that space, that Jaquitto's going to drive away from him on the challenge because it's awkward for him, and he takes every bit of it, uses it to his advantage.
Dude's executing that aggressive style. Finally, we've been waiting for so long for it, and it's actually kind of refreshing to see.
Yeah, I agree. I love seeing that. I love seeing when players slow the ball down, control.
Whoa.
Big. Just big. Just big.
Just big. I mean, I couldn't have said that any better myself.
He's just so big. He just pinches that in off of the post, off of a great pass from Frank. A huge play, and it's going to keep them in this with a minute left. They can absolutely make a 2-point comeback. The way they've been playing this last minute and a half, I think shows that.
They really just got to watch the double commits, because that's what's really killing them. Lobsters are double committing so many times for saves and for different shots, and it's not working out for them well.
It looks like they're both low boost on this push here. Frank can have to rotate all the way back. See if we can get this mid boost from Jaquito, leaving them a little bit off here. Unfortunately, Jaquito can't get that shot on. But Frank, almost gets the dunk. And with that goal gone and more pressure on from the Gators, it's looking like it might be over here.
The Lobsters want to do anything, they're gonna have to do it now, but I don't see it happening because yeah, with 3 seconds left, it's gonna be kind of hard to score 2 goals. Hey, you know what?
Oh my god.
What an own goal! I mean, that was beautiful. Very well executed.
Wow, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but if Frank can do this on the other net, if he can find himself in a position on the other net where he's on the back wall and his teammates passing into him, he should do it more often. Because that was nasty.
That one gets slammed down. One thing I wanna kind of bring up, and I don't see it happening after this game, but game 1 ended, Stoops left, changed cars. Game 2 ended, Stoops left, changed cars. We're not seeing that now. So has he found the car that, you know, is going to give him that dominating performance? Because once again, Motions seems to be playing that first man role, but Stoops finally stepping up in this one, being a little bit more aggressive, which is what we wanted to see out of him. But we need to see that from the Lobsters as well. Frank and Jaquito kind of happy to, you know, if they can maintain the offensive pressure, they're just happy to be able to stay out of their own half. But once they end up on the back foot, it seems like the defense struggles a little bit with double commits as well as making the quality touches that need to be made.
Yeah, I agree. And I know Frank has been playing that much because he's been in college. So that may be the reason their communication is not where they feel like it maybe should be at. But at the same time, like, I think Stoops just stepped up that game. I think both Motions and Stoops played the best game they've played this series. They capitalized on all those shots they had, which is exactly what I wanted to see out of them in game 2. Unfortunately, they were able to clinch that game, so they can make it here to match point game 4, and they're gonna look to close it out here. And if they can play like they did last game, I don't know that the Lobsters have it in them to win.
That's just it.
With a starter like that, I mean, big touch from Jaquito, catching Motions off guard. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, hey, Chrono said caster curse in the chat. Look, if that's the caster curse, if the caster curse is that the Lobsters take this, I'm happy. Okay, I predicted Lobsters to win. I want them to win. Wow, almost an insane touch by Stoops. He like slowed that ball down midair.
The fake almost worked. Almost.
You might call that a fake. I think I'm just gonna call that a whiff.
Nah, it's a tactical fake. Come on, man.
You don't want to see that. You also don't want to see that from Jaquito, committing super hard, leaving his teammate low boost in net, 1v2. Looks like he's gonna be okay, but Stoops is up so early for this, so confident after that last game win, and you can't blame him. Unfortunately, Jaquito doesn't have a lot of boost here. He's gonna take a 50. Frank gonna be struggling. 1v2 gets not a great touch. He's gonna slow this ball down and get absolutely clobbered. Oh my god!
What a shot!
Yeah, fantastic shot. Textbook demo from Stoops. Motions takes his time, sees the angle, sees Jaquito, takes the shot at the perfect time. And I mean, there's not much that you can say about that other than just a perfect play.
Ever since the Lobsters seem to have something going their way, the Gators are able to respond rather quickly. Lobsters able to get that first goal, but you know, Stoops and fake there, looking for the 50, not be able to find it though. Oh my goodness, the Gators just playing at a whole different level right now.
I absolutely love how smart Stoops is playing on the goal line. He slows it down in the most awkward positions for them. Motion. She's gonna lang this in off of a fantastic 50 off the wall. I don't know that he could have asked for a better 50.
I don't know if you could ask for a better lie from the ball. And just tip that up like it was a golf shot.
Yeah, big. The wall. The wall is everybody's friend today, apparently. Just handing out 50s left and right. What is this? Steve's going to be awkward off of it.
Oh, sure. When these guys play the wall's their friend. But when I do it, I'm the unlucky person that ends up own goalie.
I think the wall is nobody's friend until you hit like GC at least. And even then, it's only sometimes. I used to hate the wall. That being said, Motion's gonna be dribbling this outfield, loses control, Quittle, just an really unfortunately heavy touch for him. He had time to control that. Motion's nowhere near that play, a little bit awkward. Could have gotten a better touch, maybe even put it on target. And it just seems like the Lobsters still trying to uphold the super high pace. It's not working for them. They keep banging the ball away. Double committing on defense. They're definitely still in this, but they need a game plan change right now. And what if they were? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think you had it right. I think there might be a communication gap here between Frank and Quittle. That they're having a little bit of an issue trying to figure out where each other are on the field. And the Gators are doing such a good job of punishing that. And it's been working out for them so well. They're finding themselves in those 1v2 positions, or 2v1 positions, excuse me, to be able to punish both Lobsters players whenever they have committed too far up the field.
Oh my God, is that a monkey moon bounce if I've ever seen one?
Oh,
What
the
is
friendly
that?
psionics roll. Oh my.
I know everybody and their mothers says this when a bounce like that goes in, okay? But if I hit that ball like that, there's no shot it's going in.
That's clanging off the corner and coming right back out at me.
Oh my gosh. And again, it just looks like the Lobster are executing these shots a little too quickly, not taking advantage of the little bit of space they have. And that little bit of space is, I think, the difference between these two teams right now. That and the shot quality, Stoops, just getting these extra touches. That touch, the first touch he gets, not good. That extra touch he gets, pinches it on the ground, puts it all the way back into the corner, allows Motions to get in position for whatever happens next. It's just beautiful. Stoops going to be backwards for this one. A little bit questionable, but I guess when you're up by 2, off of a two-game winning streak so far, you can just kind of do those things.
The Lobsters in this series have just looked
Big middle bounce.
I was gonna say the Lobsters in this series so far have just looked awkward. And they're not. Obviously no disrespect or anything, but they don't look like they're playing up to the same level as what the Gators are right now.
Yeah, and we do have to remember this is still early season. Some teams are still getting their chemistry together, and I know, like I said, Frank hasn't been playing much, and there are circumstances, and I've said this for a long time, and as the most successful GM in the league right now, I think I can reiterate this again, and as the two-time, sorry, I should add that in too, to qualify this statement. It's never about how you start, it's always about how you finish. These seasons can feel so long, they can feel like such a long grind, and you'll see teams that maybe were not in contention for winning early on, oftentimes propel right up to the top, make it to playoffs, and potentially even make a run. It's always the teams that keep getting better and keep playing that are going to have the most success, I believe, in the league.
That is a very fair statement. But with 36 seconds left and the way that the Lobsters have been playing, the big question is this.
Oh my fakes! Double fake, triple fake on the goal line.
Nope.
The IQ.
I'm gonna call that a whiff.
No, you just don't understand high level Rocket League, JJ. We've been talking about communications. They're listening in, and they said, "Okay, you want to see communication? How about you watch this?" They communicated
I
that.
I was just taking a page out of your book.
Yeah. They not only communicated that between each other, they also managed to comm switch into the other team's comms and communicate it with Soup so that he would also whiff. It was the perfect play.
Well, we could have ourselves some game 4 overtime action, which you know, I like content just as much as the next guy.
Oh, huge opportunity. But it's gonna be a little bit awkward. That's unfortunate. No.
Oh,
You hate to see it.
ting
Overtime.
right off the post.
What do you think we're gonna see here in overtime, brother?
Well,
That's-
I think
oh,
we're
if
going
you-
to see a game over and a win for the Gators.
If yeah, maybe. Sorry, I'll ask a little bit faster next time. That's my fault.
It's okay, Monty. Regain. We regain.
Oh my gosh, what a series!
Either way, I mean, like you just said, what a series this was. But
Yeah.
Gators just put on a clinic.
Yeah, I agree. They looked really rough games 1 and 2. They came back out, showed a little bit of resiliency, even though they knew that they could be playing better than they were. They just did whatever they could to scrap that game out in game 2. And then as soon as they were able to turn on the Jets, as soon as they got the engine fixed, it was gone. They ran away with it. And you love to see that. And you also love to see the resilience from the Lobsters, not just giving up against a Stoops and Emotions, an A lineup that looked insane. I'll say that game 3 and 4. They kept pushing. They couldn't get it, but this is not a huge loss for them. It's still early in the season, and they have plenty of time to fix those kinks.
Oh, kinks as it may, we have the Gators in here. Congratulations on your guys' win. How are you guys feeling after that?
Pretty good.
Nice.
I'm just happy we beat Jack. It was good to play him again.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say you guys looked. It was looking pretty bleak games 1 and 2. You guys had by far you were higher in shot differential, but you couldn't quite find the quality of shots that we clearly were able to see that both of you are capable of. What do you think changed between games 2 and 3 that allowed you to really run away with the series?
We warmed up more.
Yeah, we
Possibly.
got on 15 minutes before and we're like, all right, let's get nice and toasty, boys. And that was it.
And then it took us 2 games to warm up to their playstyle. Even though game 1 and game 2 are completely different.
Well, we here in the casting booth would probably agree, but also disagree because game 3 and 4 were 100% different than game 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
Game 2 only having a 1-0 scoreline, and game 1 obviously having a very low score line as well. But then you guys came back in game 3 and just absolutely, for lack of a better phrase, you guys just absolutely wiped the floor. I believe the final score of that game was 6-3. You guys absolutely popped in that one.
They came back.
What I'm curious to know though is that between games 2 and 3, you guys go into game 4, was there still full confidence that you guys were going to be able to pull it off?
Yeah, we were just going into every game just like it was game 1, just same mentality and just throwing ourselves at the ball.
Seemed to have worked somehow.
And I think that's a page that every team could take out of their book, especially in a league where everybody seems to know each other, is just having absolute confidence, even when you maybe don't believe it or you think the other team is better than you on paper. Just having that absolute confidence going into these games will carry you so far. You guys played great. What do you think, especially the way you guys ran away with game 3? Did you feel like those car switches helped you out, Stoops, or was that just a placebo thing? Maybe it helped with your, I don't know. You were switching cars between game 1 and 2. You came out in game 3 on fire, really changing the way you played completely, taking control, especially the way you slowed down the ball a lot in front of the goal line was just a treat to watch. I really loved love the way you did that through games 3 and 4. Do you think those card changes helped you out at all, or are you just trying to find the
Well,
right feel?
it was so Robot gives me a lot of crap for using the Dominus and flat cars. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna use the Octane for a bit. And I'm like, I'm sorry, Robot. I love you. I can't do it. So I had to go back to a flat car, and it felt so much better.
Hey, you don't let Robot boss you around. If Robot ever tells you what to do, you just say, "Remember that time Maki dusted you in ping pong?" Conversation's over. Robot's in the chat right now, so he's not happy about that one. But yeah, I mean, you guys played fantastic. It was a great series. It was one of you guys really open up as you warmed up, as you said, throughout the series. Do you have anybody that you in particular are looking to play, or you're interested in playing? Anybody you think is good at competition, or anybody you just want to like call out and talk some trash on? I'm here for all that.
See, probably not trash talk or anything like that, but Jack, I wish you would have had Rhythm there too. I miss my boy. Because we used to play on the same college team a while back. Me, Jack, and Rhythm all played, and it's been fun playing with them.
Yes, the original Chris with a K lab tube experiments
Oh yes.
coming out, dominating Star League. All right, do you have any more questions, KJ?
I do not. I wasn't prepared for that that test tube reference
Yeah.
for lab experiment, but even still, nope. The only thing I have left to say is congratulations to you guys being able to pull out this win in 4 games, and yeah, Maki, do you want to take us out?
Yeah.
Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will, though. Give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go. Tomorrow we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will, though. Give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. We can start it again. We can start it.
Welcome back, FDL. We're here with the Eagles and the Gators for an expert league bout. Coming off of that fantastic match between the Gators and the Lobsters. Sorry about that. Coming off a fantastic match between the Gators and the Lobsters. We're excited to see these extra players play, especially with Gami Panda, the star of the Gators team, as he is, first of all, like the highest salary and expert, as well as the 1v1 Titans champion. And he gets the Maki seal of approval because he's 1v1 me as well. Tubby, what do you think about this matchup?
It's an interesting matchup. Looks like today we'll have Gami Pando and Ken going for the Gators, which is their A lineup. And then we will have Riffin and Kimo Kyo going for the Eagles, which is their bottom lineup, their C lineup. So, interesting matchup here. It definitely give favor to the Gators in a normal circumstance, but we're excited to see if the Eagles can sneak one out from under them and get a free game here, as both teams are 1-1 coming into this contest.
Yeah, if the Eagles can pull out a win here, it's going to be a huge win for them as a franchise, allowing them to save that A lineup for future use and secure a much needed win later on to secure their spot into the playoffs. I thought it was interesting that you said that this is the Gators A lineup because on the FDL website they don't have any other lineup. There's just the two players. What do you?
Yes, because I think they picked somebody up. They picked up the Autumn Fall was their other player, and I don't know exactly what happened to him, but they picked up Sunlight this week, so that would be their third player, and they used the Autumn Fall lineup in week 1, and it's deactivated now. So that's what the situation is going on there. So this is Ken and Gami played last week. They got the win over the Hornets, and they're looking to carry the momentum into this game.
Interesting. And I know I said that this could be a huge come up from the Eagles, but I think it's also important to note for any GMs out there in chat or team captains, it is not a good thing that they're playing their A lineup versus the C lineup. This is really unfortunate for them. Even if they do win this, it's still a used A lineup, and it'll come back to bite them in the future. So it's important to do everything you can to try to predict. I know a lot of this stuff is intangible, and a lot of it's just a little bit of luck. But to try and predict what lineup the enemy team will use, especially based off of their previous lineups used so far throughout the season, so that you don't end up in a situation like this where maybe the Gators clean sweep here. I'm not saying that they will, but if they do, it's still a little bit unfortunate on their part. They could have maybe squeaked the one out with a lower lineup and saved their A lineup for later on. That being said, I'm really excited to see them play. If you ask me, I think obviously I think the Gators are going to win because it's their A lineup, and also because Gami Panda is the 1v1 Titans champion, and as a 1v1 enthusiast myself, 1v1 skills absolutely transfer into twos, and I think even in a head-on matchup in A lineups, I think that could be the difference between this match going towards the Gators or going towards the Eagles. So I'm going to predict the Gators here. What do you think, Toby?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Gators here. I mean, I say that Kimo Kyo is playing everybody on their team, so we'll see if he's maybe elevated himself to a stance where he might be able to counter Gami. But then it's just Ken versus Riffin, and Ken's got the 5-point salary bonus, but I've seen Riffin do some mechanical things coming from a depth league last season, so it's an exciting matchup. I mean, I'm ready to get this started if you're ready to get them in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get it started. I'll go ahead and let them know that they can join up. And with that, hopefully they do so quickly, as the night is not young. Let's go. They're all in here. It's gonna be Riffin versus Gami Panda on the kickoff, and Gami Panda does win that, as you'd hope, seeing that he is the 1v1 title, which I will be mentioning a lot throughout the series because I think it is important, and I think it really highlights an area that a lot of players don't want to work on because it's not fun. Nobody really likes playing ones. But huge pass out there mid from Galmi Panda. Fortunately, Kyo being able to slow that down on the goal line. It looks like right now the pressure is pretty 50-50. What do you think, W?
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I mean, I think the Gators have a little bit more pressure here. The Eagles are doing well to react.
Toby, your mic is cutting out just about every other word you're saying. I'm starting to interrupt
the main
you.
ball carrier, I guess you could say, for the Gators here. Kent really been playing.
Yikes.
Back, but to the shots he's been putting in. Go ahead. You just go ahead. I'll see if I can figure it out.
Yeah. So we're gonna see Kyo getting a huge dunk on the goal line here. On an awkward hand. That is massive. Actually, that might have been an awkward Galmi Panda. I may be bad at my job, but we're gonna go right back into the kickoff. Although it looks like the Gators have had most of the pressure this game, they haven't been able to capitalize on it, and that's what matters at the end of the day. This is a great start for the sorry. This is a great start for the Eagles C lineup. And it's going to be an even better one now. With 2 goals up, they're gaining confidence by the minute, and it looks like they're just putting better shots on net. And that's what you want to see from a team coming in here confident, willing to take risks, and believing in themselves going into this first game. If they can pull this off, there is still 3 minutes left, but it'll be a huge win for them. That being said, Kin up in the air. He's going to be taking this towards the corner. Looking for an extra touch. He's going to get it, but unfortunately, Griffin reads that perfectly. Galmi Panda going to pass it out. Again, just a really heavy touch from Galmi Panda. And unfortunately, away from the corner from Kyo. Looks like the Eagles by far have all the pressure this game. And despite the seeming mismatch going on with lineups and the fact that Galmi Panda is the one who on Titans, it's not really translating into the game right now. And I'm kind of eating my words, which I don't like. So I do hope that the Gators are able to pull this together a little bit. Although it looks like they're not holding any of that pressure that they were early game anymore. Huge flick there from Galmi Panda. Unfortunately, it's not going to find its way into the net. And it's just a great 50 from Riffin. He's going to fake off of it. He's going to allow them to keep pressure. Go straight back to his teammate. Big bump for Kyo there. I like the patience there from Galmi Panda, but if he would have just waited a little bit longer, he would have been in a much better position. Both these teams may be a little bit nervous right now, but clearly the Eagles, the more composed of the 2 teams. Wow, Kin getting a great bump. Go ahead.
Alrighty, I'm back. Yeah, just a great bump there for Ken, and finally here for the Gators, this offense kind of comes together here, even though it was still a little bit awkward. But that's just what I'm noticing. Producing great opportunities, but they're just not in the right place when they need to be. Galmi will get a nice pass midfield, but Ken will be back in the midfield. Just trying to look out for the big clears. It's just, they haven't had the right chemistry. It's really what it's come down to so far in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, I would agree, and I think that is one of the biggest struggles that you can have on a team that maybe is heavy in 1v1 mains. Is that with both players trying to play a more one-on-one play style, it can be a little bit awkward and difficult for the second man to figure out where to position based off of that, because they really have to read the play to know what's going to happen. Looks like they are putting together a little bit more as this game comes to a close. Galmi Panda going to go up the wall here, looking for an opportunity. He's going to fake off of this, which I respect a lot, and just take a good 50. That is a wow. 2 fantastic 50s. Should be an open net, but unfortunately it's just not close enough again to get the shot up. It seems like a recurring issue that they're gonna have to work on, and it's only game 1, so they have plenty of time to do so.
Yeah, I mean, Ken has also started to ramp up the aggressiveness, allowing them to be a little bit more, I guess, offensive heavy here, staying on the attack a little bit longer here because Ken's opening up windows there. It was just 2 great 50s there from Gami, but Ken, I think he's just, I guess, afraid to get in his way is really the best way for me to put it. Not wanting to step on Gami's toes is such a great shot there from Kimo, putting it top corner, just perfect placement here as Gami went to the corner to get boost, and that was a fatal mistake there for the Gators as Ken was unable to get up for that one while sitting in goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was just a big miscommunication there. I think Ken wanted to go for that ball initially, it looked like, from the play. But it seemed like Gami may have called him off of it in comms. Because Ken just completely stops on the goal line, lets Gami go up. And unfortunately, Gami just taking a little bit too long to grab that boost. But we had a fantastic game 1 here. Eagles really surprising. I thought that the Gators would be in much more control the entire game, but it seemed like the best opportunities came out of the Eagles, and they capitalized when they needed to capitalize. Just hitting hard shots, winning 50s, being confident. It's what you love to see. I mean, what do you think the Gators could change going into game 2?
I mean, I guess just be a little bit more loose with their offensive attack would be a big thing. Gami's really structuring the way he's going down the field, and I played with Ken a lot, and I played against Ken a lot, and Ken's not really one who wants to sit back and kind of play that second man. He a lot of the times when his teams have been successful, he's been part of a team that's shot here, and then you're rotating around while Ken's taking a shot, and then the teammates rotating around taking a shot, and they're both good half court rotations is really when he thrives on being aggressive, going for bumps. And right now I just feel like Ken kind of feels stuck in the midfield while Gami's going for those 1v1 plays. As you've said multiple times, he's a fantastic 1v1 player, but it's just not Ken's style. That's not really what he looks like. He's really heavy. He's really aggressive with bombs in the way that he puts shots off the backboard to give his teammate a chance to follow up.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think Gami can make that adaptation, which they definitely need to do. Of him just playing this second man role, letting Ken get in there, break up the defense, be really aggressive, and then Gami, being the fantastic player that he is, can definitely clean this up and take control where he needs to. They just need to have the wherewithal to communicate that they need to do that. So we'll see if they can figure it out this game, but it looks like it's a great shot opportunity from Kimo Kio, sorry. But unfortunately, he's not going to connect on it. It just looks like sorry, the Eagles are just a step ahead everywhere they need to be. Always getting a touch over.
And just playing more of a team.
No, good.
Just playing a little bit more of a team-friendly gameplay. I guess the best way to say it is, Kimo's done a lot of the scoring, but Riffin's he's playing well off of him. He's putting on good shots and keeping the pressure up. And it just kind of seems like they're more flowing as one cohesive unit. Well, it feels like the Gators are really just trying to play hero ball a little bit, which is I really think they need to take a look at that strategy, because right now the Eagles are just cutting off everything, making a lot of saves, and they're not a lot of difficult saves. It's a lot of just balls that are on net, but they're just kind of rolling towards their slow rollers, easy clears, and allowing the Eagles to jumpstart their offense in a counterattacking way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it almost even looks like Gami is trying to do too much, I think. I think he's a fantastic player, but he's being a little too fancy. I think if he just takes this right back to the basics, bread and butter, just getting flicks, putting the ball hard at their net, forcing them to make forcing them to make missed touches, it'll serve him a lot better than what it seems like oftentimes here. He's going for touches that are just a little bit too mechanical. And so he's going to have, of course, at any level, the harder the shot you're trying to take, or the harder the move you're trying to pull off, the less likely it is that you score, the lower the percentage it is of being a success. So I'd like to see him just take this back to the basics. I don't think that this is necessarily a matchup that he needs to hit absolutely the best shots he's ever hit in his life. I think he can just take solid shots and force this Eagles defense into making mistakes.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I like to talk about, I'm no expert in the game, but I like to talk about like efficiently using your boost and not really, it's good to have mechanics, but like pulling them off on the far side of the field and wasting 100 boosts just to get to midfield and then lose the ball and give up possession, it hurts your team more than it helps you, putting out the mechanics. It's one thing to have the mechanics, but it's another thing to know when to pull them out and know when, going for an air dribble from too far back and not really producing anything is gonna hurt.
Yeah, I agree absolutely, and I think we saw that flip reset shot that Gami attempted onto the backboard, and man, that would be sick if he hit it.
It's going to be low boost, and it's really just going to get the thing a lot. A lot of times, just going for full.
Yeah, I like Gami slowing down the play there, being patient, taking a 50 because he was low boost, and not trying to just force a play to happen that isn't really there. Big touch around right there. Ken gonna 50 it into the corner. Looking a little bit awkward here. Unfortunately, I don't think Griffin's gonna be able to capitalize on it completely, but that is a great shot from Kimokio. And a great pass from Gami Panda. Gonna be around both defenders, but I don't think they're gonna be able to capitalize on, unfortunately. Great patience there by Gami Panda. Gonna go for a flick. It's not gonna be on, but that's what you want to see. That flicker there, see Kimokio misses in the corner, and although that might not happen every time, if you just put good touches on like that enough, I think he'll get it to happen consistently enough that they can capitalize on it. Huge 50. And an even better 50 coming back from the Eagles. And this just seems like a lot of back and forth midfield play right now. Both teams looking to capitalize. Definitely a much more solid game from the Gators than we saw during game one. But it still looks like the Eagles are maintaining most of the pressure, which is what's making it hard, A, for the Gators to score, and B, for this to really look like a solid game win here. And just like that. Just like that. Finally. Just like that. They're back in it 1-1. 20 seconds left. Never even a doubt. Not even right there.
Yeah, I mean, poor positioning really came back to hurt the Gators on that one. Just a lot of times, the Eagles were taking it one way, and both players were rushing over to that corner. The Eagles just shot it back the other way, and they have to scramble, and both players, no communication. Both players were going into the other corner, which left the net open, and the Eagles missed like 4 or 5 times. They finally packed and tied this one up with very little time left. It's very infuriating here for the Gators. It felt like they had control of this game, and then
Oh my god.
very little time
Oh
left.
my god.
Oh my gosh. The Eagles steal one here.
Just a bad impatient touch from Gami Panda leads to a huge bang last second by Riff and Kimokio gonna capitalize on that. And I don't know what to tell you, man. It's C lineup versus A lineup here, but if I didn't know that going into this, if I was just watching this game, I would tell you that this is the Eagles A lineup, this is the Gators C lineup, because they are just playing as one solid unit. They look almost even individually better players most of the time. Sometimes Gami Panda is pulling out a flashy mechanic that is really cool, but he's not scoring on it enough for it to really even matter. And like I said, I just think they need to I think Gami needs to go back to the fundamentals, and I think he needs to learn how to let Ken play first man, because Ken just looks uncomfortable. Looks like he doesn't know where to be. And then Gami's going for touches that are hard to read, and it's just falling apart for them. If you could say one thing to the Gators and one thing to the Eagles right now, both teams, what would you tell them respectively?
For the Eagles, I wouldn't really say anything. I mean, what is there to say? That they've taken 2 games, they're playing well as a team. And for the Gators here, I'd say exactly what you're saying. Ken needs to be on the point. I mean, the thing about 1v1s is he's a great offensive player, but he should also be a fantastic defensive player, because there's.
And you did cut out for that entire last portion. But we're getting straight into game 3 here, and this is an opportunity not only for a sweep against an A lineup for the Eagles, not only for
I think that Gami needs.
and not only for a big opportunity for them to get a C lineup out of the way, while also taking a win at the same time, which is not always easy because you can't always predict what lineups you're going to play against. But also, just a convincing win. I mean, like, what else can you say? The Gators falling apart here this game, this series so far. They have potential to bring this back. And again, not again, sorry. I love this from Gami. He's going for this air dribble. It's just not going to pan out for him. But he realizes that, bails out, sees the time he has. It just takes a good hard power shot. It's nothing special, but it gets the job done. It's just a good shot. Fundamentals will take you so far, especially at this level. Solid fundamentals will carry you to the top. Tommy Panda gonna get a clear downfield. Gonna be patient here. I'd like to see that. He gets an early first touch, and around the second defender. Oh my god, what a recovery. Pinocchio gonna take that up the wall. I don't think he realized that it was just open. It's unfortunate, but he's gonna get a touch mid for his teammate. He was just trying to be a little safe and doesn't want to challenge for that. Tommy Panda in a 1v1 situation. I like that he hits it hard. He doesn't get it on target. He gets to the corner, but he puts pressure on and he buys time for his teammate. Unfortunately, not enough pressure as Pinocchio just looking solid. Getting that ball right back downfield, getting a pinch. And they just look completely to be the better team right now. Gami Panda's individual skill aside, I don't think it's enough.
One thing I would like to see is maybe Gami putting the ball off the back wall and making it look like it's going to be a shot, and trying to pull that Eagles defense out and allowing Ken to come in with a good counterattack. Because a lot of times he's just looking for solo plays, but I think the Eagles are so accustomed to it, you might be able to catch him sleeping here and get a nice easy shot from Ken. If he's able to put one off the backboard and get it around the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gami just consistently looking for those solo plays, leaving Ken back awkward, oftentimes chasing a little bit too hard for the ball. Gami just awkward again. He's in the wrong position. And he leaves Ken back in an awkward spot, just recovering into the net for a shot that was very difficult for them to save. And I don't know. They haven't changed anything thus far. I don't know that the Gators can do anything to pull this game out of the mud right now. But if they can, they need to do it fast. I don't think they're going to take this the way they're playing right now.
Disagree here. It seems like they're kind of content with this style of Gami taking charge and play second man. And right now, it just feels like the Eagles are just muddying it up enough where Gami can't really get offense going. You can tell it's definitely frustrating in the way this game is going.
This absolutely huge bump. Gami puts that on target. That's fantastic. This is exactly what you're talking about. Ken, he goes up, gets a big flip, sets it up for Gami, then bumps Riffin out of the way. Unfortunately, Kimokio in the corner going for boost, not reading that bump happening, and thus unable to get back to save that ball. That was a Breeze said it best in Twitch chat. That was a banger play, low key. Exactly what they need to continue doing, but you're getting dunked on by Kimokio like that. I mean, what do you do? What are you supposed to do in this position if you're Gami in net? Ken really needing to flip into that ball. Unfortunately, unable to.
Just tough there for Ken. He had that great pass going into it, and then he just doesn't get up for it. And I don't know if he just wasn't expected the double touch there, but he had to put up a better fight for that shot right there. This one's just gonna roll in.
Yeah, Kami faking this, not faking this touch, but actually speeding it up a little bit, making it awkward for Riffin. I gotta say, I don't think that should have gone in. That being said, you love to see that for the Gators. And they need everything they can get right now. Clearly, they haven't given up, but momentum is still really important here in this series, and the Eagles have absolutely all of it.
Absolutely, but Ken's getting aggressive here, and that's what I like to see out of this. I think Ken's aggressiveness and taking charge maybe a little bit and letting Gami know that like he needs to be a better part of the offense is really what it's going to take to win. I don't think Gami's naturally gonna have the ability to not want to play ones. Basically, the way I see it, Ken's gonna have to be the one to say, hey, we need to play a little bit more balanced here. You need to let me get on the ball a little.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's important. Just like a good marriage and a good relationship, communication is important to a good Rocket League team. Knowing when to say, hey, man, talk to your team. You talk to your team and you say, hey, this needs to happen. We're losing, and this is what needs to change. And even if it's not the right answer, anything is better than what you're doing that's causing you to lose. It seems like a little bit of that initial Gami ball chasing that we were seeing has kind of worn off, and they're playing around each other a little bit better now. And that is a certified FDL own goal. Wow.
I mean, that seals it there. I mean, Gators are going to take Game 3 here, and it's a much-needed win. You know, it hasn't been the cleanest game, but you know they scrapped one out here when it looked like the Eagles had all the momentum, and we're going to go. Oh,
just when you think you're gonna go to Game 4, Kimo Kyo is gonna put a nice shot on net off of a failed kickoff from Ken. And that is unfortunate, but we have Gami on the kickoff this time, and he is not going to let that happen. Kimokio waiting at mid, going to put a banger on the backboard and make it kind of awkward for Ken in net. But unfortunately, there's really no shooting over Riffin there. Kimokio, again, going to just pop this high on. And there's a little bit of miscommunication there. That ball's going to drop. We have Game 4.
Wow. The Gators do feel fortunate to make it here.
Definitely, the way they played games 1 and 2, they're going to feel fortunate. Gami Panda stepping it up a little bit. I don't know if he's listening to the stream or not, but he definitely went for some more fundamental plays there, and less flashy stuff. Just took some good 50s, put some good shots on. Still a lot of miscommunication that caused them to get scored on this game, as far as how long Gami Panda was going to stay in the long game. And I think that's really their biggest problem right now. Is aside from Kimokio getting nasty dunks in front of the Gators net, because you just can't stop that sometimes. I think Gami Panda is just staying in plays longer than Ken is expecting, and they need to iron that out. They ironed it out a little bit this game. Gami got some better touches. Ken got in those plays, and he got some demos, exactly what you want to see out of him. So I think they need to do this again. I think they need to do the exact same thing again. I think this playstyle is going to wear on the Eagles, and it's going to allow them to win the game. As far as the Eagles go, I mean, what do you think that they need to do to make sure that they can just secure this last game, go home, take off their jersey, and have a drink?
Oh, I don't know, maybe. I mean, I don't know, a whole bunch of adjustments. Maybe pressure a little bit earlier here on some of these attacks that the Gators are getting. A lot of times when they were getting scored on, they gave the Gators too much space. The Gators were able to get a nice flick, a demo, or something like that, and able to take advantage of the holes in the defense. So maybe push a little bit more, but I mean, it's still a close game. I know they got that kind of fluky kickoff goal towards the end, but I feel like they played within themselves, and you know, I don't feel like they need to change a whole lot. I mean, Griffin just needs to be a little bit more consistent in this game, as in that last game. He missed a couple touches that I felt he probably shouldn't, but I feel like the Eagles have really played well throughout this whole series. and I feel like if they just kind of keep it to their game here, but without making any major adjustments. Maybe if they lose this one, maybe they have to change it up a little bit more. But so far, it's been working pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. They're taking good 50s. They're looking awkward here. They're gonna get the save. Can come out of that, get a crucial touch. That touch doesn't look like much, but it slows the wall from going straight to their net, to the sidewall, allows them just a second to keep this pressure on. Just a second to recover. That's massive. I mean, could be going off the back wall. I wouldn't even do that in my Star League games. I don't think he should be doing it here.
And that's where I was talking about wasting boost. That's not accomplishing anything for the team except for draining your boost and putting you in a harder position in your own half. Potentially hurting your team and allowing goals there because you're running out of the boost. It's awkward. It's flying in the air. Eagles coming out of nowhere. It's just. It's the point. It's not serving anything to you. To getting the ball down the field or making a solid clear or even setting up a team play.
Kami just has used like 150 boosts. Yikes. Yeah, he should have been there. Kami using almost 150 boosts, maybe even more. And all he accomplished was clearing the ball and passing it, or not clearing the ball, sorry, but passing the ball in front of his net. He's just doing too much. He just needs to slow down a little bit, stop trying to go for all of these mechanical touches, and just basics. So take him so far. Because every time he makes a mistake like that, the Eagles have proven time and time again that they're here to capitalize. They're not going to let him just get away with that. He's not just going to make bad touches and speed his way around the field, using way more boost than he has to. Great save by Griffin. Oh my god. Gami Panda,
just what
somebody's got to talk to him after this game. Go ahead, brother.
Absolutely. Sorry. And the thing we're seeing here, along with these, mechanics, just a mechanic from Gami is really Ken just kind of just sitting there not knowing where the ball's going to go, because he's not communicating what he's doing with it either. He's not really telling him what he's thinking or what he's trying to accomplish with these touches. So Ken's just kind of driving around, not knowing what position he needs to be in for where this ball's about to go, and it's really it's killing their defense right now. I mean, if Gami just keeps it simple right here, I think we're still sitting at a 0-0 game, and they're in a good position to take this game. Now they're on the back foot. They've got to press a little bit. You've got a minute and a half left. You've got to get one back, just to keep yourself alive in this series.
Yeah, I completely agree. Although it looks like they have an opportunity here. Oh no. Oh no. A little bit of a whiff here on the goal line from Kim Okia. Yeah, and I love the catch there. The catch is the right play to make there. He can't really generate enough power to hit this anywhere. He'll just be giving her to it. He needs to keep that close. Potentially try and get the corner boost and play the ball, or just take the 50. But the right play, is not always the safe play, and missing that is tough for him. And Ken just needing to take that shot fast. It's just lots of small things from these teams.
It would have been so nice for the Gators there. The Eagles make a mistake. Had a great opportunity to get another quick one there and go up by 2. I think Ken just got in his own head here. He hasn't had a lot of chances, and I think he was just thinking, I can't miss this no matter what.
Yeah, and unfortunately you're cutting out again. But Gami Panda, he takes this ball away from Ken, which at first I thought
skills there and puts the Gators up. But, if I'm the Gators here, I'm feeling fortunate.
Absolutely. Sorry to everybody in the stream. We're having some technical difficulties, but that is just the nature of the game. That being said, Gami really looking like he's warmed up now. He's putting those hard shots on net. if you could just do that all the time, like forget all of the mechanics, forget the flip resets, forget anything else he's doing. Just get good flicks, good power shots, and this is a clean game for them. It's all the extra stuff that he does. Go ahead, bro.
Good. I agree there, and even if you don't hit that shot, a lot of times with that good power shot, you're gonna make the defense scramble, and you can get double commits that way. You can get just missed touches because they've got to panic and get up to the ball, and they're not quite able to put the ball where they want. And it leads to a lot of times, if you're not getting the goal there, it's going to lead to Ken being able to have the opportunity to get a goal because you're going to create great offense for your team when you just put that power shot on, maybe hit the bar, bounces up and down, they commit for it, and Ken's able to go for it as the Gators are able to take this one here.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great performance by the Gators. Gong Panda popping off there. I think winning this really off of individual skill, and still not playing the Team Rocket League that I want them to play, that this team needs to play if they want to be competitive in the grand scheme of things. That being said, really all they need to worry about right now is winning this game. Everything else, all of the improvements they can make, the way they can improve their chemistry, and the way they're playing the game together, all that comes after. Right now, all they have to worry about is this game 5, finishing the job. They have the momentum. They're 2 games straight won. They lost 2. They showed some resilience, faced the adversity, won 2 straight now. This one much more convincing than the last, and they just need to finish the job. And then go back and watch these replays afterwards. And I'm sure they won't be happy with themselves, but a game win is still a job well done.
Absolutely, and we've got the opportunity for the reverse sweep here for the Gators. And for the Eagles here, I think they just need to work on, putting something together on offense. I haven't seen a lot of like team plays or really much of anything. It's really just kind of been trying to catch the Gators with the pants down. I think they need to start being a little bit more intentional with their offense, as opposed to the Gators, who need to be, I guess, a little bit less, just straightforward with their offense. I'm not really seeing a lot of creativity here with the Eagles offense.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it is their ceiling. They don't have the same mechanics, the same mechanics that the Gators do, and so it looks like pretty often they're looking for just fast, good 50s, making plays, but that's not seeming to work out for them right now. It seems like the Gators are the ones taking control, being patient right there. Ken literally just waiting, and the ball gets passed to him. And gonna be a failed flip reset by Gong Panda. It looks like the Eagles maybe are so starstruck by the fact that he's even doing this that they're just unfortunately not going to hit the ball.
Yeah, just a miss by Riffin there, and Chemo. I think Chemo just thought Riffin was going to have it, and so he turned. And that little turn is what cost him right there.
This has quickly gone from a match where it looked like the Eagles were going to take this in a game that they shouldn't have, to the Eagles really just struggling to get anything going for themselves. And the Gators looking more and more patient by the second, taking control. Gong Panda using the 100 boost for... Oh, that was a nice touch. Unnecessarily, but right now it's working out for him, so I think he's just going to keep doing it. Right there, that touch right there by Riffin, it's just bad for their team. It puts the ball right back in the midfield, gives control right back to the Gators, who are going to keep pressuring over and over again, and they have the mechanical advantage pretty clearly in this matchup. And when you're playing players who have better mechanics or who are maybe better players than you, you want to give them as little time on the ball as possible. The more time you give them on the ball, the more likely they are to score on you. I experience this all the time myself, playing against players like Laggy Puppy and Timothy Snugget. and feed and you name it, players in Elite who are just better individual players than me, and if I give them time on the ball, they're always going to find a way to score eventually. So you want to see them control this a little bit more. That's not a bad pass.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for the Eagles, I think it's an adjustment that they're going to have to make because Gami's starting to play a little smarter with his touches. Gami wasn't really doing a whole lot in the first 2 games, which was allowing them to sit back the way they want to and be successful. But now Gami's being a little smarter with his touches and taking advantage. So they've got to in turn make the adjustment that, the Gator, the counter adjustment that Gami made.
Yeah.
And start to take him away and not allow him to be the main option in the offense.
Absolutely, and that's a great pinch right there. I'm just gonna read it. Get it banged downfield, and look at this patience from Gami. That's what we want to see. He waits for him to get a bad touch, puts the ball immediately on target on the net, forcing him to make saves. Getting a big jump right there. I mean, honestly, it looks like the Gators are completely taking control of this game. The Eagles cannot keep control. Wow, good shot by Pinocchio. Awkward positioning in net from Ken. And a big goal from Gami Panda, leaving this wide open for them. I'm sure Ken could not read that. And this is, this game right here, so anyone's game 1-1, 1 minute 13 seconds left, game 5. And you got to be thinking to yourself, you're the Eagles, that worked, but we need something more consistent. Because if not, Gami Panda is just going to cut the ball and flick it over your head. That was a great flick by Gami Panda. And it's great awareness for him to immediately go straight for the ball, despite the fact that he didn't hit, or that it didn't technically affect the play. It could have, and that's just another good shot from Gami Panda. Good pressure from Ken, putting this on the backboard. Pinocchio struggling to get that off. It's an awkward up angle for him.
And right there again, a great example of the offense we were talking about in these first games that they've adjusted to, where Ken's putting it off the backboard, and then he went in and got the bump and cleared the lane for Gami. So his shot wasn't perfect, but it didn't have to be because the net was darn near wide open.
And speaking of wide open nets, the Gators are going to miss one, and it's going to be another wide open net here for Pinocchio. He's not missing that. He takes his time. I absolutely love to see that. Is aware of what's going on. I'm assuming you get a call from Rippin saying, "Hey, there's nobody in sight. All right, to save this ball. Take your time." Gami Panda says, "Need more ones in my life." After watching this game, I would disagree. I would say need more comms in your life, maybe. But Gami Panda is the one who Titan, and I am not. So who am I to say? Although again, it just looks like the Eagles just going for touches that aren't necessarily good. Ah, it's a big shot opportunity from Rippin. Unfortunately, can't get it. Pinocchio passing this to the wall. It's possible he keeps this up, but I think unlikely here. Looks like Gator's gonna help him do it, and just like that, it's over. Well, I can't say that I'm happy with this result. I think the Gators should have been able to finish this off, but they couldn't keep this team going for long enough. And I am excited to interview Gami Panda and Ken following this huge reverse sweep. Gami says, "These game 5s are gonna age me." This game 5 aged me just watching it. I can't imagine what it does to you if you actually play it. Hopefully we do get them in here for an interview.
Yeah, great game here for the Gators. In those last couple games, it really felt like they were in complete control. A lot of times, the Eagles were only scoring because the Gators were making, just fatal mistakes for themselves. There wasn't a lot of creation from the Eagles, and it felt smothering at times. I know they had equal amount of shots, but the time of possession, I would imagine, is far in the Gators' favor in these last couple games, these last 3 games that they won, and that was the big difference. Is the Eagles just weren't able to do anything, as the Gators were just they found the rhythm a lot better. Gami, he finally started to hit his one plays that he was trying to hit in the first 2 games, and Ken just he found a good role for himself where he was able to get some good flicks off the backboard for Gami, and then was able to go in and get the demos that he loves to search for when he plays.
Absolutely. And we do have Gami and Ken waiting. We just need someone to move them in, which I do not believe I have the ability to do. So, there we go.
Oh, hello.
Gami and Ken. Great job, guys. Reverse sweep from what looked like honestly hopeless going into game 3, but you guys pulled it off, and I'm glad that you did. Do you how do you guys feel after that game? It was a rough one for sure. You guys pulled it out of the muck though.
Hopeless was a good way to describe the first 2 games. that was really rad. We were both.
One word: pain. Much pain.
Yeah, it was maybe a little bit painful for us to watch too. I hyped you up a lot going into this Gami Panda being the 1v1 Titans champion. And you guys seem to
me up like that.
you guys seem to struggle a little bit with communication in games 1 and 2, maybe having a hard time figuring out where to position for each other, things like that. And Gami, you going for some for some flipper sets that you have no business going for an expert. But games 3, 4, and 5, clearly you locked down the mechanics. You were getting great touches, and you were popping in, getting demos, getting passes. You guys locked it down and looked like a much different team those last 3 games. Do you think there's any particular reason that happened? Did you guys communicate something to each other, or did it just start clicking?
I feel like I started talking more. I feel like I was giving him a little bit more information. I think the biggest thing, we were just making better touches, right? Like the touches we're making in the first 2 games were not setting us up for any success.
Yeah, the first, I was disappointed throughout the series. Honestly, I didn't feel like I was playing well at all.
Yeah,
I don't know.
a little bit of awkward silence there. But I mean, congratulations on the win, Tubby. Do you have any questions for these fantastic players we have here? All right, a little bit more awkward silence, Going into that game 5, obviously the most.
I'm not coming through.
Oh, good, brother. No, you got it.
Am I here?
Yeah. You're
Okay,
here now.
all
You're
right.
here now.
The big thing was just getting the reverse sweep. It felt like a lot of the times it was really Gami just trying to kind of play a little bit of solo ball, and Ken was kind of getting lost in the back end. And then Ken, it really felt like you stepped up a little bit, and you started to get a little bit more aggressive with the bomb plays. That, I mean, me personally, makes me furious when I play you, because you're just so good at heat-seeking missile bumps. I feel like that was really the key to opening up your offense in the final third game. Was that intentional, or was that just kind of shaping out as it went on?
I mean, I honestly am kind of disappointed I didn't get as many demos as I was hoping. Like, I come into a series and I'm like, I'm gonna get like 2 demos a game, and I definitely didn't reach that. But I definitely was doing a better job of just playing fast, and also like not getting demos as much myself. So I got demoed way too many times in the first 2 games, getting caught out.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It really just seemed like in this first 2 games you were a little bit more hesitant, and you guys worked that out in the last couple games. And I don't know. I guess that was just it was good to see. And I feel like going into watching this, you guys will really be able to tell like when you guys finally started gelling and found that'll work for you guys.
Definitely.
Yeah. Going into that game 5, 2-2 tied series. This is the only game that matters. You end up winning it by 1. How did you guys feel throughout that? Were there any nerves? Were you guys confident the entire way through? I mean, I know you guys had a lot of momentum coming off of a 2-game win streak going into this reverse sweep, but still, you lost the first 2, and that can feel really pressuring going into that game 5. How did you guys feel?
Gomi had some issues in game 5.
Interesting. I'd love to hear about those.
Oh no.
Tell him, Gomi.
I had an itch on my nose for about 4 minutes, and then when we got scored on, it was so relieving.
That's all I heard in comms.
And really, those are peak comms apparently, because you guys got the win. So what are you gonna say about it?
Although, in all seriousness, after like game 2, the nerves were honestly gone, because I don't know. After it was like there was nothing more you can lose almost.
Yeah, no, you are right. Going into swept position. I don't know how to phrase that, but going into that position, you're right. There is nothing to lose. You just got to play the best you can, as long as you can, and you guys absolutely managed to do that, at least enough to pull out the win. So I really congratulate you guys. Tubby, do you have any more questions? If your internet is going to allow you to ask them, just let me know. All right.
Yeah. Oh, am I here? Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just gonna give you guys the opportunity to give a shout out to somebody or call somebody out, or just anything in general you have to say to anybody or anyone.
I mean, I'm just gonna shout out the entire Gators franchise. We had a clean sweep this weekend. Entire franchise won.
Congratulations. Let's go, Gators.
Shout out Maki and say 1v1 me.
All right, Kami. All right, you're an expert, but I'll give you another shot. Yeah, you guys played great. You finished strong, which is what matters. It may not have been clean, but on days like this where things aren't going your way, just pulling out the win is the most important thing. So thank you guys for the great games. This is a really exciting series to cast. Tubby, do you have anything else to say? If not, I'll close this out, brother.
Probably not, because my internet won't allow me. So.
Okay, Tubby's internet going undefeated tonight. You'll love to see that. Just like the Gators for this week of league play. Thank you guys, everybody in Twitch chat, for watching, for talking, giving me some good laughs throughout the match, throughout both matches I casted. Thank you guys, Kami Panda, Ken, and the other Gator squad that won the game prior to this, for giving me a fun match to cast. It's not always easy being up here, but when you guys are playing the way you guys played tonight, I mean, it's just there's never a dull moment. And thank you, FDL. You guys have a great night.
Into the night.